This is fresh.
The Secret Menu Podcast.
This is fresh.
What's happening, man? Back like we never left. Tapped in episode 13, and today I'm here with Sophia Ruby. The artist, the entrepreneur. You're more than a rapper. I've listened to the music. My favorite song is Bitch Nigga. Even though you gave men the blues on that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But you're a singer. You kind of balance in between rap, rock, R&B. You do so many versatile things. Entrepreneur, reality, TV star. You know what I'm saying? A variety of things. So I don't want to just corner you into one thing. She's a lady of many talents, but she's here today with us, though. Sophia Ruby, what's happening?
Oh, nothing. Just blessed to be here. To be here. You already know. I feel like I'm sitting here with what's my nigga Shannon Sharp sitting here with Shannon Sharp. You know, quit playing.
Yeah, feel me?
Hey, on Mac Dre's birthday, I couldn't ask for nothing
rest in
more.
peace to Mac, man. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. Happy birthday, Mac Dre. We miss you.
Hey, it's the sun shining outside. We had good leftovers. What? We good over here.
You heard
we
me?
good over here.
Yeah, let's get it going. Let's go from the beginning. Where were you born? Where was the immaculate conception of Sophia Ruby?
You know what? I was born in D.C., the District of Columbia. My mom was a traveling saleswoman, if you know what I mean, and she was the bottom bitch in my dad's stable. So we were all born a little bit all over the place. My sister was born in Philly. My brother was born in Davis, and I ended up in Alaska. And at 3 months old, my auntie came and got me. She brought me up to Sacramento with one of my grandmothers. I bounced around in foster care a whole bunch, Bay Area. I was in a girls' school in Colorado for like 2.5 years. And then they sent me up to OC for a while. Of course, I didn't fit in there, all the rich white folks and shit. And then the last place where I landed, which was my last option, otherwise I was going to have my child in a juvenile hall and have her taken away, was a group home in Fresno, California.
Ironic.
Yeah.
So from the ages of 1 month to 5, you moving around.
Yeah, well, till 4. And then at age 4, my step-grandmother got guardianship of me. She said she
Step grandmother means
my
a friend of the family.
No, my grandfather's new wife. She went and got guardianship of me. She said she visited me at a foster home, which I have vivid memories of this, like dreams and stuff. She visited me at a foster home. I had burns up and down my arms. Damn. They didn't take me to the doctor. They had it wrapped in diapers, and she was like, yeah, nah, forget this. She snatched me. She went over there, got guardianship of me, and I stayed with her. It wasn't the best situation, but I can say that my mom loved me. I call my mom.
I was about to ask, what was going on with mom? So was mom fucking with drugs a little bit?
Yeah. So like I said, she was on a traveling on a wholesalesman, and so she was doing her thing in and out of prison on drugs, and the same with my dad. And I knew them on and off.
How many of y'all was it at that time as y'all moving around?
So I had my one older sibling at the time. And I had another older sister that I didn't know about until I was about like 13 years old. So to me, she didn't really exist. To me, it was just me, my older sister, who ironically, she has a different dad. So her dad is white and my dad is black, and our mom is white. So she is white.
Mom's white.
Yeah, my mom has blonde hair and green eyes.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, so she's Creole and white, and she has like these black features, but she's white. And
And
Yeah.
your father was black.
Black, yeah. So my sister was blonde hair, blue eyes, and it was me and her. And then later on, my little sister came along, and then my two little brothers, and my one little brother ended up getting murdered.
Where is dad at during this?
He was in and out of prison, you know.
Did you meet him? Did you know the nigga?
So
Or?
you know what? One of my first memories of him was third grade. I was in the gifted program, and they were busing me out to go to this school for smart kids. And they came and picked me up early and said, "Hey, your biological parents is coming to visit you." And you know, I don't know them, but I you know, I hear stories. Oh, he's a pimp. They're on drugs. They're this and that. You know, so they take me to my aunt's house, and in walks this 6 foot something tall, dark black guy that has to lean under to get in there, and then this short white hoe, thick with a little jean dress on.
Right.
You know, my mom, they walk in and it's automatically like a lot for a little kid. You know.
Oh, so you're already displaced, and then they say, "Hey, your biological parents are coming."
Yeah.
So you hadn't been seeing mom or him.
Yeah. Every once in a while, when they would go to prison, they'll write me a letter telling me how much they love me and how, you know, they're
So as you displaced, they still together on their missions and doing their shit.
They'll go to prison, then they'll come back, and my mom was this bottom bitch in real life. So in real life.
So you at school and they say, "Hey, your real parents are coming to see." So you got your friends in class. Where you get pulled out of class.
Yeah. So it's already like whatever.
Ooh,
so
this is different.
So they take me to visit them. They walk in and it's like this weird picture. I could remember it because she's white, he's black, he's tall, she's short. You know,
and you right in the middle.
Facts. I'm literally the perfect blend of both my parents, which is why my siblings hate me. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. But I am low key that. And so I remember they were like, I was really uncomfortable. They're trying to get to know me and stuff, and they're real proud because I'm at a gifted school. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you.
Yeah, and so they're like, well,
through adversity, still being in the gifted program, your mind's still working and shit.
And so they was like, we're gonna go to the store. You want some candy? I'm like, no, I don't want nothing. Reese's, right? So they go to the store and they come back with a Reese's for me. And I'm thinking they trying to poison me so they can kidnap me and take me away. Look, I don't know what's going on. So I give the whole rest of the visit, I give my cousin one of the Reese's, right? And I'm waiting to see if this nigga gonna pass out.
If he gonna croak.
If he gonna convulse, what he finna do. And I slowly but surely started eating my candy. That was like one of my first memories of my dad.
And you said that was third grade-ish?
Third grade. But my dad has a memory of me where he came visit me. I told you I got burned as a child. So what happened was I stopped speaking and I was mute for a while from like age probably 3, 4 on, and he came and visited me and they were saying, you know, she's real funny, she doesn't go to people and she doesn't talk to anybody. And this is what my dad tells me. He has this memory. He says, you looked at me in my eyes and you came and ran to me. And then he said, and then you said you want me to read my book to you? And I said, yeah, baby. He said, and I shit you now, you went and got the Bible. He said, now I'm thinking she's going to go get one of these kiddie books. He said she came back with the Bible, sat on my lap, and started reading. He said, you didn't skip a word. He said, I was so shocked. And he said, it was so proud for me that I had created this.
That's fine.
And so I love that was his memory of me, because the memories of my mom be like a little shot out. You know what I mean? So I'm really grateful. Me and my dad have a good relationship. I found out later on.
He's still living right now?
Yeah, he lives in North Hollywood and he sings. He has an album out. His name's John Silver.
Hello?
Yeah, he sings. So
shout out Pops.
you can stream. Hey, if you go on my dad is streaming like all day. That's what he wants. He wants people to hear his sound. And I really believe that apples don't fall far from the trees. Like whatever is in you is really meant to be in you, because I wasn't raised with my parents, and I had no idea that my dad sang, did music. My auntie's a soul trained dancer.
And you find all these things, and
yeah.
it comes out of nowhere. You have no idea your parents.
No idea.
Oh, that's fine.
My auntie is one of the original. So his sister is one of the original soul trained dancers. They own a bunch of property all over LA. She's married to a director. My other auntie was Bishop Don Juan's partner for a long time, and so she's like best friends with Linnell and all these people. And I had no idea.
That's crazy.
I kind of fell back into the fold of my father's side of my family because recently, when I moved out of Fresno, because my older daughter graduated high school, I was ready to move around, and they were like, well, we have one of these properties you can come over and help us with. And then they've been watching me throughout the years, and from as far as like my siblings and stuff, and them seeing that I'm not like my mom's side of the family, and them seeing that I do music and I do all these things, and so it was kind of like, hey, let's see where she.
Wait a minute though.
Uh-oh.
What is mom's side of the family like? You said you're not like.
So you know, okay. So
mom's side of the family a little wilder.
So my mom's white, so you know you got that, which is white people are a little different. I'm not, I'm not a racist. I'm just saying white people are a little different. So my mom's side of the family, my mom was the hoe. So they first of all wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna be a hoe. So that was the first thing, and then. Some of my siblings were raised with like my grandma, which was on my white side, and they were a little like they would say like my dad's side was the reason my mom got turned out. My dad was the reason why.
So her family already despised your dad and shit.
And they felt the opposite. Like everybody was good until he started messing with her. And so like when my aunt came and got me from Alaska, she left school, and never went back. And so like my dad's side blames them for that,
right.
You know what I mean, and yeah, just things like that. There was a lot of division. My grandma was full white, and she just was like, this black ass nigga around whatever, and so
right. It
was like that. But they weren't even like we were foster kids to them. You know what I mean?
So they came and saw you in the third grade. So after they saw you, they were gone again, right?
Gone. I don't know where they went.
So
Separate
from
prison.
third grade to let's say 8th grade, what was that part of your life like?
So I got kicked out of the gifted program the first year and went back to the regular hood school, and I was in the hood.
Where you at now at that time?
In Sacramento.
California.
Sacramento. And so my I grew up in a neighborhood where there wasn't a lot of mixed people back then. Mm-hmm. So I grew up really, and then we were poor. So I was like the pretty poor girl that didn't know her potential, that people just jumped and bullied all the time, and then I had brothers, so because
we all poor, but motherfucker, you light skin with good hair,
with good, yeah. So I'm like, so it was a problem. Like I just never really fit in. I always had the one oddball friend, like the one that didn't really speak English. The one
you find another outcast,
the one Asian that wasn't that smart. You know what I mean, right. Or like it, and those was like my groups. But anything that I ever tried at, I excelled at, and that was always a problem for the people that didn't like me, whether it was like a school play or the basketball team, whatever it was. They just and having a natural ability makes the teacher see your potential, but you're a kid, you're not like what I was bad. I was really bad.
What kind of shit are you doing? Are you ditching? Are you stealing? What you got going?
One thing I did a lot of was fight, but like I said, I was defending myself a lot of times. But because when you're fighting a lot, you become the problem, even if you're not the problem. You know what I mean? Because
they're looking at it like, okay, this is your third time in the fucking office.
Then me and my brother, y'all know my brother, me and him still roll together.
What's your brother name?
My brother June, Big
Shout
June.
out June.
Shout out Big June. So yeah, me and my brother were just always doing things, hopping fences, going in backs of trucks, just things that we didn't realize were bad. Like, smoking cigarettes out of the car. Like, he locked me in the trunk of the car. We were just like that, two peas in a pod all the time. Wherever you seen him, you seen me, and we were just in trouble. Now, he had a lot more. He had like what they call ODD, oppositional defiance. So he always was in a little bit more trouble than me. But because everybody knew he had issues, I was the one that always got my ass beat.
Damn.
Like, I was the one I got my ass beat down all the time.
So y'all in foster care, but it's you, your brother. How many of y'all is in foster care?
It was only me and him.
You and him.
My older two.
How many kids did moms have all together that ended up getting displaced or whatever? 5
of us.
Damn.
Yeah. So my older sister and my little sister ended up with my white grandma.
Shout out Maisha. I can't pronounce the Maliku. I don't know.
Miss Yanni.
You know who that is?
Oh yeah, that's my
Shout out Maisha though for the Cash App and the 40 stars. You know what I'm saying? Much love. Glenn Mack is in the house. Shout out Miss Monica Guzman showing love in the building. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up. Okay, so 5 kids. You two are displaced together. Y'all terrorizing where y'all at? Y'all in Sacramento.
Yeah. In the neighborhood. And then eventually, it got to a point where I was just getting my ass beat all the time. I grew up in a house that was like
You getting your ass beat by like disciplinarians?
I mean, my mom was whooping my ass, but she grew up with a time when children should be seen, not heard. Mm-hmm. She also had a 6th grade education and didn't have a lot of emotional intelligence. She done took in these kids that aren't hers. You know, she also was in a.
So when you say your mom, this is stepmom.
Yeah,
got it.
My grandma. So she done taken these kids that aren't hers, that she doesn't really understand.
She frustrated.
She also seen how smart I was and seen how beautiful I was. One thing that she would always say when she beat me was, "You're gonna be a prostitute just like your biological mom," or "You're gonna be a drug." You know, that stuff is genetic. You know, so like there was things like whether I was talking to a boy or whatever it was that just struck so much fear in her.
So she whooping your ass, but in a weird way, she's hoping this makes you
and it did.
detour.
And it did.
Right.
It worked. I'm gonna tell you, in real life, whooping my ass worked. It scared the shit out of me. I didn't want to be a prostitute like my mom. I didn't want to be a crackhead like my mom. I definitely did not want to leave my children. Those were the 3 things that I really stood by. It worked. Now, I know that it wasn't right. I do know that. One time she threw a pack of frozen pork chops at my head.
God damn,
and busted my shit open, and I had to go to the hospital and get stitches in my head. And the whole way there, she was telling me, you know, if you tell them the truth, they're gonna separate you.
Right. So
you know,
they're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, but if you tell them the truth, they're gonna separate you from your brother. They're gonna take you away. You know what I mean? And these are the type of memories that stand out. She really was abusive, but she definitely did her best.
So it's damn. So that's a hard one to juggle, because it's like you're abusive, but you are the motherfucker who took us in when nobody else wanted us
and loves me.
You love me
for real.
Damn.
Like I know my mom was. She went out her way. We were poor.
Is she still living now?
No.
Okay.
No,
rest in peace.
Yeah, she was poor, but she also, because she had a 6th grade education, when we were fucking up in school, there was no.
What nationality was she?
White.
Okay. She was white as well. Okay.
Yeah, and there was no accepting of messing up in school. She didn't care. She's not listening to your side. You know what I mean? At all. She's gonna take what the teacher said. You get your ass whipped, because it was just no nonsense with her. She was very big. Like people always say, "Oh, you have such a beautiful smile." My mom had rotten teeth, so she was very big on making sure that we got to the dentist. You know what I mean? Like, so it was like her messed up way of making sure that we weren't messed up.
Shout out foster parents. Shout out her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My mom loved me.
So when do you leave the nest though? So from because we just went to about 8th grade.
So at about 13, my brother's getting kicked out of schools. I'm getting kicked out of schools. I started running away, and they basically told my mom, because they were old. They were getting older. They were my grandparents already, and then there's like we've had CPS in and out throughout the years and stuff. So they're like, hey, we have her in custody. If we bring her back, we're gonna have to open a CPS case. Because
what are you getting in custody for? They just catching you out after hours at night and shit?
Okay, so I ran away. But look, this is my last night at home. My last night at home, I stayed with a friend at a friend's house. And when I got home, I knew it was late. I know I'm going to get my ass beat. I see my mom sleep on her little chair, so I sneak in the back window and go to sleep. Now she leaves in the morning and never sees me, so she thought I never came home. And so when she gets on the phone with my brother. Me and my brother are like this, but I'm always catching ass whoopings for him, and they kind of turning us against each other at the time. And so my brother, she's like, no, put your brother on the phone. So me and my brother, we end up tussling. Because I'm mad now that she's mad at me. She's not listening to me, and now she's talking to my brother nice. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you get off the phone, me and my brother end up tussling, boom, 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 all over. I'm like, fuck that, I'm leaving. My brother, I remember I had some hip hop posters, and on the other side they had wrestling. My brother wanted them, and I wasn't giving them up. And so I said, bro, you can have my posters. And I left.
So that was like this is what I have to give you. You always wanted these posters.
Yeah.
You can have these posters, and I left. So you said you was 13 or 14
I was
right
13.
There? And you left.
And I left.
Where do you go? Damn, that's crazy. Because for a girl at 13 or 14,
hopping light
out
rails,
to the world is crazy.
Hopping light rails, going to people that I meet on the party line, just things that just, you really shouldn't be out in the world at that age. In real life, you should not be out in the world. That's why when I try to explain to my kids what I know, I've done anything and everything you can think of. Because you have no options, or you don't know your options at that time. You're just out in the world. You know what I mean? So you're just surviving. Well, the police picked me up, and probably thank God, because the guys that I was going to meet, I'm meeting them at a light rail. I'm going to go meet these guys, and right when we
most of these guys are older niggas.
Yeah, older dudes. 2 older dudes I done met on the parking lot. I'm finna go meet them, and right when I see them, the police see me. So I try to turn the other way, and they stop me because what you said, 14-year-old. It's nighttime. Right. I'm at the light rail and shit. They stop me. They motherfucking like, okay, well, they know that I beat up my brother before I left. That's in the police report. Or
right,
whatever,
so
right?
you were already in the system as a motherfucking house where you pulled up on 9 times. This is the little girl that be whooping the ass and shit, and she's at the light.
So
it's 11 p.m.
Yeah,
right.
So they know how to beat up my brother. They're like, if we bring her back, we gonna have to open CPS because she's a danger to the other child in the house. So my mom was like, okay, well then take her, you know. All right, so they took me. I want to say
what do they put you in? They put you in juvenile hall, or you're placed in another group home?
So I want to say they put me in like I don't even remember at that time. But that was the moment I started bouncing.
It's a blur.
Like I literally started bouncing at that moment. Like I think I went to the mental hospital.
Are you smoking weed? Are you drinking?
I'm not doing anything at all.
You just rebellious.
Yeah, and I think I have a chip on my shoulder. I grew up with brothers that fought me all the time. Mm-hmm. I grew up being jumped because I'm mixed. And then my mom left me. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, dang, my mom didn't want me for drugs. She chose drugs over me. You know, now I understand addiction a little bit different, but still at the same time, for me as a mother, I'm gonna stand down 10 toes for mine. Right. So I'm gonna get clean, do whatever the hell.
I got the same issues and shit too. My father was heavy drug motherfucker who would pop in every blue moon.
Yeah.
I held that grudge for years against motherfuckers. Like I hate DMX, rest in peace, DMX. But I never had any sympathy for anything DMX had going on in his life. Like, nigga, you using crack because you want to use crack. Yeah. And a lot of niggas be, and I always had this disposition about DMX where niggas were like, nigga, you tripping about DMX's. But nah, nigga, you choosing to use dope
DMX
because
I love DMX. That's he was
one of
my favorite rappers growing up.
My daddy's DMX.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My daddy beat the crack, DMX didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand your mind state and what you was going through because you looking at moms with this anger and then anybody else in this world that's on any type of drug.
And then like I said, I'm mad at my brother because they're nicer to him because they told us, well, your brother has all these issues, so you can't whoop him. If you whoop him, it's going to backfire. So my mom wouldn't whoop my brother. But she would be so frustrated that it would all come out on me. On you. You know what I mean? And that was just like... Because
they're looking at him kind of like, well, mentally he can't understand what he's doing, but you know better. Yeah. You're the star child, smart one, but you're doing bad shit, but you're smarter than that. Yeah. So you're getting the tail end of all the shit. Shout out Davion Thompson in here.
I didn't have no common sense. None. Nobody gamed me. At a young age, I wasn't gamed. I didn't get gamed up until probably around like 17, going into my early 20s.
Who do you contribute game from though? Was it a early boyfriend?
Yeah. The niggas I dated. They gave me up the most. And then once I really started getting into my music, my homeboys in real life, that was it. It's always been my bros, and then like.
So let's go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Because you are an artist. Where do you discover, because with all this chaos and shit going on from birth to 13, 14, is there music playing in the house?
Always.
Do you see commercials, videos? Where do you find this love for the music?
Always. So, and it's crazy because I'm in a household that does not really musically. My mom was white, could not clap on beat. They would make fun of her how she shook her hand in church. Right. Like it was like that was that. But I had the solos in church when we was in school. If there was like any kind of play, I would audition and I would always get the solo. I mean, I'm not practicing. I just like music. When she would leave, we would turn the TV to BET and MTV. When she would come, because she called all that shit noise. Right. Everything was noise. What? Noise. She listened to long neck goose like a no way how long. Ain't nothing in the world like a big eyed girl to make her act so funny. Make her spend my money.
Shout out, mom.
That was the type of shit she listened to. Right. And if it was gospel, it was allowed.
She go to the store, y'all motherfuckers in there.
But what? Quit playing. I really looked up to I loved the Brat.
Shout out to Brat.
Hey, I loved the Brat. And then I would say I mean, she wouldn't. When my older sister would listen to, who was actually my aunt, but I was raised with her as my sister since I was raised with their kids. You know, so I was raised with my aunts and uncles as my siblings as well, and they would listen to like Five Heartbeats and stuff like that. You know, and so Temptations. They would watch those type of movies and things, and I would gravitate to the little solos.
So it starts off as you just singing the songs that you can sneak and listen to and hear.
And I would sing, and my mom would be telling me, "Shut up!" Like, she'd tell me, "Stop watching TV. Shut up that noise." And my sister would be like, "What? Why are you always telling her to shut up?" Like if she was my daughter, my sister was 10 years older than me, and she would be like, if she was my daughter, we'd be rich already.
Right.
She would always tell her that.
So your sister already had the management mind and saw the potential in you. Like she's good. You know what I'm saying? Mom's is like, this shit's not real.
Jay, she used to tell me to shut up. I never seen an artist. I never knew an artist. I never thought that was possible. If I ever said that I was, and I used to say that when I get older, I'm going to be an artist, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to do this, they would be like, that's not realistic. You know what I mean? I didn't think that was realistic because I knew not one.
As you're hearing this music, you're loving the music, and then you're now the runaway / group home kid or whatever. Where do you discover how to even go...
No music.
Put your vocals on a studio.
Wait, no
like,
music, never. Right? So then they shipped me to a group home in Colorado, right? Damn. They listening to country music now. So
hold on, how many motherfucking? Because I know you got some Texas shit, some California shit. Born in DC, Colorado. How many states or places have you actually even lived in?
You know, so it's hard to say as far as like. A kid because I lived in a lot of different places, but I definitely lived in California, lived in Colorado, lived in Texas, lived in those 3 places.
Like 5 or
yeah. Okay. And then was born in DC.
Born in DC, so that count, right?
Yeah. And I will be living in Vegas soon, y'all.
Hello.
I will be living when I transfer to UNLV in the fall.
Hello. Okay, so there's now you're finding your love for this music. Like I want to.
No music though. There was no. I loved music. I loved to sing. I loved every chance I got to sing in like a play or something. But there was like no music on the regular, no recording. Well, I'm lying. When I was in Colorado, me and my homegirl Danielle recorded on one of those little tape decks that you get from the remember the tape decks the teachers used to have? You put the tape deck in there.
Yep.
We recorded this song called "So Luscious" that we wrote, and it came out before Bootylicious, so we think they stole it from us. In real life,
stole our shit.
No, for real.
So Luscious.
We recorded it, and you had to take it, record your vocal, re-record it, dub it, and do all this extra shit in order for it to make it sound like it was a group. And so that was my very, very, very first ever recording. But from that, I was like 14 or 15. From that until like I'd say like 22, there was no music.
So you didn't. So you were a late bloomer, low key. So you got in the studio for the first time.
Yeah. So then I got in the studio
at 20 something.
At 20 something, with my Gucci G Mac, the one and only, hella bony, never phony. Hey,
shout
for
out.
Real, Mac Camp Macadocious. So
what city is that?
In Fresno.
In Fresno.
So G.
So how do you even get to Fresno? Because we got to do that.
So I told you that the last group home that I was in. I mean, I was in juvenile hall, and the only group home that would take a pregnant teen was in Fresno.
No, we got to go back.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go back.
Because there's a baby. When the fuck did that happen? So at what age is that baby?
Okay, so I ran away from my foster home with my foster brother. He tells me he's taking me, and I'm thinking we in a relationship, right? You know, so I didn't have no game, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking we in a relationship.
You and foster brother creeping on the low at night.
Yeah,
okay.
So, and he's their real son, and he's grown. And so I'm thinking,
oh, so he's their real son.
Yeah. Oh. And he's grown, and I done came to this foster home in Stockton, mind you. And he says that he's going to, we gonna run away together, whatever. He need him down that bitch, but me. I'm like, okay, that's me.
He black?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. I'm gonna beat his brown man down. This bitch, we finna ride off like I'm thinking we Bonnie and Clyde and shit right there, not knowing this nigga trying to turn me out.
Right.
So he done snatched me up. I done ran away with him, and he got a couple hoes. So he's slowly trying to teach me little things by watching, but faking like we're in a relationship, right? And I'm like 17 years old. he ends up saying, okay, we're gonna go to New York. He taking the hoe to New York, and he's teaching me things along the way. We get in a car accident on the way to Texas, so he has to on the way through Texas. So he stops at his friend's house in Dallas. This is how I ended up in Dallas. So he stops at his friend's house in Dallas to get his car fixed, and he sends the hoe out. And when she comes back, I don't know what the fuck transpired, but he choked her in front of me with a wire hanger. Yeah, with a wire. I mean, the wire hanger. I'm telling you, this shit was traumatizing. The wire hanger was in the shape of her neck when it came out. Like, he choked her with a wire hanger. She on the ground, and then he tells me, "Look, this is the next step. This is what we finna do. You finna go out. You finna find
You
me.
gotta replace.
No.
Come off the bench.
No, yeah,
She injured reserve.
Yeah,
it's your time to
But
shine.
this is what he tells me though.
Right.
He told me that he wanted me to go find a bitch, bring her back, and me pimp her. Like, that he wants to build a stable where they don't know about him, where I'm in charge, right? So he wants me to go and get a girl and and he's gonna start feeding me the game. What? I'm traumatized. He just choked the fuck out this bitch, right? So when I leave, I'm never coming back. Now I'm in the streets of motherfucking Dallas.
So you dip and you gone.
And I'm gone. And I'm in the streets of Dallas with nowhere to go. That's where I meet my baby daddy. That same day, the same day.
I'm thinking he was finna be the baby daddy. This is a good ass movie. This is a good ass movie with plots and twists and turns. Cause I thought he was gonna be the baby. So you escaped this nigga.
Yeah. And I meet my baby daddy the same night. My baby daddy has a little son with him, and I need a place to stay. And I swear to God, I'm a 17-year-old runaway.
So where you at? You at the liquor store?
I'm at a motherfucking bus depot downtown
okay.
Dallas. And I need a place to stay, and I'm 17-year-old runaway, and I'm like, hey, I said, oh, whose baby is that? I'm running the game like, oh, this your baby Q. I said, oh, well, we can make a baby anytime.
Make us another one.
Right?
Yeah,
and fucked around and really went and fucking made a baby, but not immediately.
Right.
So he took me back to his house with his homeboy.
Was he attractive to you, or was
he was cute?
He was just the first nigga to look like he had a car, and this nigga
No,
might
he
be
was on the
stable.
bus. I was at the bus stop.
Okay.
He was on the bus. Him and his homie was there. They had a cute little baby, and that was my end. They took me in, and he low key rapped a little bit, which is funny because they had a little studio, but it was not like a thing, So I ended up staying with them for a while. He was about my height, he was the first dude ever to put hands on me, right? So he
born and raised Dallas.
In Dallas, yeah. So and
so how long through the relationship before that night he put his hands on you?
Probably like a week, because we just fell right. We probably fell right into thinking we was in love immediately and shit. You know what I mean? And so, I grew up fighting my brothers. So this boy.
Do you remember the events that led up to that? He's gonna go make me some chicken.
No, I don't. But I remember grabbing his dick. Hey, I remember that we was fighting and we was laying each other back like beep beep, because he's my height. He's small.
Woke his game up. He thought it was an easy win. No, nigga.
We knocking each other back, and I'm like, oh hell no! And I grab his dick, and he like, that ain't shit. And he like, and to the point where he was like, let me go. Nigga, what? Now you checking
I thought
this
it wasn't shit.
Yeah. I said, no, you're gonna put, and I'm holding it like a scoring woman. Nigga, you got the nerve to put hands on
about
me.
To rip that motherfucker off. Money Mike and
I ain't never
Friday. Oh,
nigga, you got that nerve to put hands on me.
Right.
All my life I had to fight looking at.
Right.
I let when I finally let
Have you already had the baby? Are you pregnant? No, you said a week, so you ain't even pregnant yet.
We're barely into
so
this.
you stayed in this toxic, crazy ass wrestling match of a relationship.
No, I was probably with him for about 2 months, maybe at the longest,
and
right?
then was pregnant.
And here's the cold part. So like, the same day that I met him, I met an older dude, and got his number, and just was talking to him a little bit here and there. Now me and this nigga is fighting. I don't have food. I don't eat meat, so I'm there.
You already a vegan then?
Yeah, I was a vegetarian at 11 years old.
Okay.
11 years old. I knew not one vegetarian. This whole plant-based shit is new. Was never a thing. I was the weird black girl that didn't eat chicken. You knew the animals.
I'm not eating no shit that walk.
Wait, they used to say, you don't eat chicken? Black girl that don't eat chicken? Nigga, what the fuck? I was only the only black girl that anybody knew that didn't eat chicken.
You got a tough survival, because not only are you displaced and moving around, running, you don't eat meat.
And they had no vegetarian
beggars.
dishes
If beggars can't be choosy as a person, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you in a
What?
fucked up situation, but I'm not eating that. Damn, that's crazy.
No, every time. And I would promise you I'm not eating it, and I do not care, and I will starve.
You just get the sides. Give me the mashed potatoes and the
rice. I'm
rice.
gonna starve, and I'm not gonna eat it because I just, even as a young age, I just kind of, there were certain things that I don't know, I just knew, and that was one of them. That was one thing that I knew was not right, and it wasn't right for me.
Eating animals.
You know what I mean?
So you kind of didn't slid your number to somebody else behind this nigga back.
So this man is bringing me food here on the left, like he like, I got a little EBT card. I'm gonna look out for you. So he doing this, and then we link up and shit. And he's like, I got a little spot where I can get you away from where you at. So now it's overlapping. Right?
He's a born and raised Dallas nigga too.
Yeah,
Dallas niggas.
But mind you,
back doors.
Hey, this nigga's older though. So this nigga is like,
you young and yellow. All these niggas is scrambling trying to have you.
He 37.
Ooh.
And he's just fresh out of prison from doing like 20 years. Yeah, and so, but he's a good guy. We friends to this day.
Okay, that's what's up.
And so, I'm kind of overlapping now, right?
Because I'm trying to figure out which one of these niggas
That's
is
what
the
I'm
baby
saying.
daddy.
So Judge Hatchett was trying to figure it out too.
Who's the baby daddy? Oh, let's get to that then. Okay, go ahead through it then. Okay.
Okay, so
you're dealing with this nigga you living with, but you kind of sneaking because nigga you done put your hands on me.
Yeah.
I got an extra strategy over here with this nigga who's bringing me the vegan food and shit.
Real shit. And so I end up moving out and going with him, and we found a little place where I can rent a back room at. We found a little place where I can rent a back room. I start dancing too. And so I'm stripping and I'm dating him
So how do you discover that? Was it something he was like, hey, you can shake some ass for some cash?
No, we went to a strip club. And
you saw the girls.
I'm tipping the bitches. I'm in the jeans and a tank top, like
right.
this wife beater and jeans and flip flops, and I'm tipping the bitches, and the niggas is tipping me. The bitches is complaining. I'm taking the tips out and giving it to them, but they're complaining. And the manager said, "Hey, if you get another tip, I'm gonna put you out." And so, I got another tip and I got put out. And then he came outside and offered me a job.
The light bulb right.
And he came outside and offered me a job.
Hey,
I went the next day to the Big T Bazaar, got a fake ID and a fake Social Security card, and went down and started stripping in the strip
Shout out
club.
Big T though. That's like the swap mall type shit, huh?
Went to the Big T Bazaar in Dallas, for real.
Okay. And so you go into the strip club and you doing your shit now.
And now I moved into my own little place and shit, and I'm stripping. I'm not talking to neither of the niggas no more.
But
I done moved on.
And somebody doing something.
Yeah, so
it might not be no talking going on, but something going on because a baby's brewing.
Yeah.
How long from the strip club?
So I'm in the
pregnant.
I'm in the strip club. I done moved out. I'm not talking to neither of the niggas. I'm making my own bread or whatever, and so I get really, really sick from all this. I'm in the after hours where they're smoking indoors. There's a lot of stuff. I get really sick. I go to the hospital. I find out I'm pregnant. I'm like, no.
So like, how far through the strip club shit was that? How many months or weeks?
So I think I was like, I was like 10 weeks pregnant when I found out.
10 weeks pregnant, but how long had you been in the strip club?
Probably the whole time. Probably like a month. Like a month. Yeah, I've been in the strip club probably about a month, and I find out I'm pregnant, and I continue to strip, and I tell both the niggas, but I'm not planning on keeping the baby because in my mind, it's so weird because in my mind, I'm still gonna go to college one day. I'm still gonna be married, and I'm not gonna have a kid outside of a marriage because I had never had a regular family, but I have a picture in my head of what a family that I want to have. Right. You know what I mean?
And this shit with you two niggas ain't it.
Ain't it. And so I'm pregnant, I'm working a strip club, I'm a runaway. Like, this is not so I'm like, I'm definitely getting rid of this baby. And so I contact my baby daddy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pregnant, whatever.
So which one are you calling the baby daddy? The first guy?
Honestly, I told the first one I was pregnant, and then I told the second one I was pregnant, but it wasn't his. Right? So I told him, I'm like, it's not. He's like, no, that's my baby. You know what I mean?
The second guy.
Yeah.
I know what I would do.
Yeah. He's like, no, that's my baby.
I know what I would do.
Yeah.
Did he have any kids at the time?
The older guy. Yeah. So he had a kid he had a kid before he went to prison that he had never met, never raised, and then he did like 17 years in prison. He got out, and the kid was grown. And so it's like. it would be almost like his first kid, even though it wasn't, you know. And so he was like, that baby's never. He said that baby's never gonna want for anything, and I was like, no, I'm getting rid of it anyway. He's like, please, just keep it, please keep it, please. The baby will never want for anything if you just keep that baby. And so I kept the baby. And I fast forward, I turn myself in, I go back to California, and I stripped till I was 5 months pregnant. I get extradited back to California, and I go to juvenile hall. I end up in Fresno. I do the group home. I have the baby, and I'm in touch with him, but not the first dude.
Not the first dude. You're in touch with the second dude.
But I'm in touch with him. Mind you, he's in a new relationship, and the bitch is saying, well, didn't she tell you that's not your baby, right?
Nigga, why you give a fuck?
But yeah,
right.
So every once in a while he's sending me money here and there, and she's saying, but that's not even your motherfucking baby.
Right.
And she was like, she told you that's not your motherfucking baby.
Right.
But mind you, even though it wasn't his baby, well, I wasn't sure, because I always said that.
We don't know
I
yet.
always was saying I wasn't sure.
It's still a mystery at this point.
Even though I don't know, and I'm thinking, because, you know, babies look like whatever, and the niggas is both about the same skin tone, they both, you know, so I'm like, okay, I'm thinking and hoping that it's his, you know, and so.
Because he's the better of the two worst situations.
Yeah, the other one was hitting me and shit and was like a loser, and then he was, you know, a hard worker, you know, decent dude, you know, so I'm just like, I'd rather it be him, and he's the reason why I kept the baby in the first place, you know. And so, even though I had moved on, I was in a relationship. He was in a relationship. He's in Texas. I'm in California. He's sending me a little money here and there. Now, I'm sitting on the couch one day, and I'm tired of arguing with this bitch about him when every time he sends me money.
Bitch.
Yeah, every time he sends me money or whatever, and the fucking Judge Hatchett commercial comes on, like, does your baby daddy deny the kid? What?
Light bulb again.
I called the number immediately.
You called Judge Hatchett.
I called Judge Hatchett.
Right.
What? And so I'm on the Judge Hatchett show. So I called the Judge Hatchett show. I said, yeah, I was a 17-year-old runaway. I met a 37-year-old. Long story short, I get pregnant. I'm in a strip club. Now he's saying the baby's not his. What? They called me back. I want to say in like 30 minutes, an hour. They called me back.
Oh yeah, we need this.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because they said, man, we get thousands. They said we have like 20,000 entries, you know. And they said, and we picked your story. It immediately caught them with me being the 17-year-old runaway from the foster home, and him being 37. That in itself,
they wanted that story for sure.
So they're in touch with me every day, like, and they contacting him. They send a limo to Kings Canyon. Wait, where I was staying on Beck. I was staying on Beck on Kings Canyon and Clovis over there, and so in the Canyon Springs. I was staying in the Canyon Springs. They sent a limo over to that motherfucker to take me and my baby to get a DNA test. They sent the limo to take us to Kinko's to fill out the paperwork. They sent drivers to take us to the airport. And we flew to New York.
Okay, and then for a motherfucker who kind of just floating right now, this is some cool shit. You know what I'm saying?
Real life.
Like, okay, this all right. I'm gonna go to Judge Hatchett. Okay.
Yes, so I flew out to Judge Hatchett.
Where was that? Where they fly you to? What city?
New York, Sony Pictures.
Okay.
It's so funny though because mind you, I'm on probation in Fresno at the time, and the police are doing a random raid like they do sometimes, where they do sweeps, and they come to my door and they arrest me because I got some little weed sacked up or whatever in my drawer. So they arrest me.
So you a drug dealer? You was a very diverse motherfucker. So you hustling this shit right now? Hustler, stripper, rapper. Okay.
So I'm I get arrested. I'm on a violation. Don't you know Sony Pictures calls Fresno County Jail, and they're like, because I'm meant to be on the flight like in 2 days.
Right.
So they're calling everybody, like,
trying to figure out where the fuck are you
I am at, right? So now I don't know what happened because I ain't never got out of jail so quick, and I'm on a probation violation with no bail, right? So Sony Pictures, the lady that was the producer lady she said I called everybody. You know how when you're being intook and they can't find you because you're not in the system yet,
right?
Oh, that set her off. She said, "What you mean you can't find her? Didn't you arrest her? Ain't she in your system?" She was making them. She lit a fire under their ass to the point where they let me out.
They found you.
Yeah, when they said, next thing they told me, roll up, I never got, I went running because I just knew this was some kind of clerical error.
Hello.
I ran up out that jail.
What's your last name?
Edwards, roll up.
Edward, yeah. Edwards roll up. Yep. I'm out of
ran
here. You don't
him
know
over.
what the fuck going on because in your mind, I ain't got nobody who finna come bail me
I didn't
out.
have
Or,
bail.
right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So you like, what the fuck going on?
I'm on a probation hold.
It's Judge Hatchet.
Judge Hatchet show. She
Finna
said,
get
yeah.
me out of jail.
What?
That's
and
crazy.
I flew to New York, go on the show, and let me tell you how it's set up because they're like, why are you here if you're not gonna say you're 100% sure that he's the father? I'm like, but I'm not 100% he's the father. Like I'm telling them this.
Right.
It's between him and this other dude. I was seeing this dude, then I started seeing him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm like, he's not. And they're really pushing the issue. I'm like, I'm not gonna say none of that, and I didn't. I went in there and I
So
told
they was
the
trying
truth.
to kind of give you the script to say,
Hey, yeah.
they wanted you to say, oh, it's yours, I know it's yours,
Yeah.
but you're like, no, it could be either one of
Yeah,
these.
yeah, and I went in there and I definitely held my integrity because I was like, I'm not gonna say that. And it was a very good episode. Judge Hatchet came, gave me a hug because she's a foster care advocate.
Mm-hmm.
So when she found out I was on the run from foster home, and not only that, but then when I found out I was pregnant, I turned myself in, got extradited, went back to school, graduated. You know what I mean? And
So who comes on the show with you? Second
Yeah, the second
potential baby
yeah,
daddy.
the one that I wanted it to be.
So it's him and you, and this is the moment.
Hey, and he says, and he's telling him, look, I don't know what she's telling you, but she was a smart 17-year-old. This lady that's standing right here, she not that.
Right.
She not that. She was a smart 17-year-old. And she like, well, look, you just said that she was a 17-year-old runaway. That da 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 da. Like,
Right.
Yeah, he was trying to be an asshole about it. And I mean, in the end, we friends still to this day.
So they looking at him like
a piece of shit.
They're
Yeah.
looking at him, but in your mind. So let's go in your mind, because low key,
I was hurt. I started crying when they told me he wasn't the father. I started
because he
crying.
ain't the nigga from the bus. He's the second
Yeah.
nigga you met.
And I started crying
Do you
because-
feel in your mind now, looking back at it though, 17, 30, do you feel he was kind of predatory, or do you feel like, yeah, I was much more mature and kind of met my guy? Or do you feel like he manipulated you in any way?
No, I feel like sometimes when you're in prison for that amount of time, sometimes you come out and you don't see the difference in your maturity when it comes to dealing with women.
How long you said he did?
17 or 20 years or
Okay.
something like that. And I feel like when it comes to dealing with women,
Mm-hmm.
you are on that level when it comes to dealing with,
He's the same age he was when he went to jail and wasn't 37.
especially when it's comes, especially on sometimes. I mean,
So
you can grow a lot
37
of ways.
minus 17 is, so he was 20 mentally.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like there are a lot of ways you can grow in prison,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not your relationships with women is not one of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially where you're not there, you don't know what a grown ass woman wants.
Mm-hmm.
You left when you got game and you this and you that and whatever. It's just
Right.
what it is. A grown ass woman gonna look at you like you ain't really got shit going on. But let me tell you, the woman that he dated later on in life, the one that was saying that ain't your baby and whatever, she was a grown ass woman like him. You know what I mean? It just took him a little bit of time, and I really was, like he said, a little bit more mature for my age than.
So,
than-
what everybody watching
Yeah.
right now wants to know, was he the father?
No.
What was the verdict? What
He
happened?
was not the father.
He was not the
father.
father?
And I cried. I was just like, I cried.
Say what?
Shut up. I cried because I was like, I didn't never plan on being deceitful, and I never would want to have somebody think a baby was his that wasn't. It hurt my feelings, and and Judge Hatchet came, gave me a hug. She was like, "Nigga, you can go." It was crazy. And she was like, "You can go." They came, they took me back to the back chambers. They was trying to figure out how to help me be great, and and me and him are cool after that. Well, she also asked on air, like, do you want us to help you find other dude? And I was like, nah, he's a deadbeat like that. Like, I knew he was, and I knew whatever, and I knew he was a deadbeat.
Right.
Well, his family seen it. And
So that shit went. So how many motherfuckers is calling you and
What?
shit because they saw you on this fucking
people was
show?
calling me from all over the place.
Because social media ain't even huge
It
right
was
there.
new. I
So
wanna
you
say it
got
was like
TV to watch,
MySpace.
nigga.
Yeah, there was MySpace.
So
That was
everybody
it,
saw
but
your
everybody's
ass on
seen it.
TV, right?
Yeah, in different states. Everybody, people found me that I hadn't seen in years
Damn.
from that episode because I bounced around in foster care.
Yeah.
So people that hadn't seen me forever was like, oh my gosh, that's her. And they found me on MySpace from there. And a lot of my relationships I have came from from that episode. But
Oh, you had motherfuckers trying to date you like, hey.
yeah, what? I had that too.
I'd be a better baby daddy than you.
No, I seen you on Judge Hatchet. You're beautiful. Hey, did you put the picture up?
I'm trying to load it now. My chip is tweaking. I'm trying to put it up.
Yeah. So, hey, shout out to Lamika. Lamika had hooked me up with a little ponytail and shit. Lamika Woods, that's my girl though. And so I went out there fresh and shit, partied.
Butter, it's your time to shine. You on TV.
What?
He's not the father judge. It's like, get your ass out of here, motherfucker.
Yeah, because the way he acted, like, you can't come around a bunch of black women acting like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he acted like an ass, and he's not really an ass, but he acted like an ass on the show, like trying to prove that I was some kind of demon monster. But
like you manipulated him.
But like I'm telling you, I believe that the producers push a certain kind of, because they did it to me.
So he might have been rolling with their script.
Yeah.
Got it.
In real life. And so what happened was her father's family seen the episode, reached out to me and was like, and they said that when they said he's a real deadbeat, like they were replaying that part over and over again, like, oh nah, you don't gotta look for him, he's the deadbeat. This is when TVR, when you could rewind some shit, when that shit was new.
Damn.
So it was like, nah, baby mama, you didn't have to say that on TV about me, all that type shit. But they reached out, and she has a good relationship with her side on that side.
So it was him. He was the first guy.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, they're identical. It's crazy. But I hadn't seen him in so long that I wouldn't have been able to tell you if she looked like him or not at that point. And so. So
from there, your daughter and her father reconnect. You're moving along in life. You're doing your thing. Where are you at in life at that point? What are you working towards doing or being in the world at that point?
I'm in Fresno. I had been through a couple of bad relationships. I went to Moeller's Barber College. I went to the studio a couple of times. With
intentions of being a barber or a beautician?
With barber. I went to barber school. Moeller's right there on Fulton Mall. There was no beauticians in there.
Okay.
I was right there giving cuts. I was the only female in the barber school. And yeah, I really, so my dude was in jail. And I wanted him to know that I wasn't sitting around not doing anything. And I just was looking for something that would be easy, I could be creative with.
Right.
And so I went to barber school. And the barber shop was a place where, you can get anything. So with my man being in jail, being surrounded by a bunch of men who are working towards goals was just the perfect environment for me. Because when it came down to, as a single mom, when it came down to certain things like, hey, can you help me put my Christmas tree up? Or hey, can you do this? The barbershop has at least, I got 3-4 people that's going to volunteer to do it, and
men who work here and men who coming in here to, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah, and those were my bros. And then I ended up making a lot of money with like single moms who had sons and stuff.
They're comfortable coming to your chair.
Yeah, or coming to my house. I got mobile after a while, and I was driving around Fresno doing a lot of single moms cutting their kids' hair. I started in my apartment complex doing a lot of the kids' hair, and I think that's pretty much all I was on. Just a lot of really bad relationships at the time for a long time. And my husband was in prison, and
wait, go back. When the fuck did somebody propose and you get married? Like, hold on, when did the marriage happen?
Okay, so why?
And at what age?
How old was I when I got married? I've been married for 17 years. I was like 23.
Okay.
Something like that. And so
and this is somebody in Fresno at the time?
Yeah, so I was cutting her son's hair. I was cutting a lady's son's hair. And she was just like, man, I want you to meet my cousin. And at the time, me and the dude I was with, we had broken up because he was very abusive, which was why he was in jail in the first place.
Right.
He was always in and out of jail for domestic violence. I'd be right there at the court telling him, drop the restraining order, just dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? And so I kind of moved on and was doing my own thing. And I mean, this nigga was still lurking in the bushes and shit. Yeah. I'm trying to move on and do my own thing and shit. And one of my friends was like, hey, my cousin's in town from San Diego, and he's a hustler like you, and I just kind of think that you guys would hit it off. And so she called me later on. I was like, hey, I'm getting ready to head back to San Diego, but can you please just pull up and meet him? And so I did. I pulled up. And it's so funny because he'll tell everybody that I thought he was very funny looking when I met him because I'm used to like dark-skinned dudes. I like dark-skinned.
Okay.
He's light-skinned. He's tall. He's 6'6". He has long hair. He has
that nigga tall, 6'6".
You know, and actually, whenever my friends would come, they're like, girl, your man is fine. And I'd be like, dang, is he?
And he wasn't that to you.
To me.
Right.
Yeah, I was just like,
you had a type.
Yeah, like,
Shout out dark niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm like,
dark nigga gang going on.
Is
Okay.
he? And so we hit it off, but not immediately because we hung out that day. I go to drop him off, and he's like, what? Bitches don't drop me off. Bitches beg me to stay. Hold on. Right?
So in his mind, he think like, what?
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, right. So I'm like,
he thought he was scoring on the first night.
Hold on, I got shit to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't that.
Right.
So I go, and oh man, I'll never forget when I met the first night. This nigga, I'm Balvin Blood, 6'6", light skin, long hair. Nigga, bitches don't drop me. Y'all bitches. Now, mind you, the
light skin nigga energy. He gave it to you, right?
So mind you, my phone's ringing. Because I'm talking to the dude I'm talking to at the time is like a big dope boy in Fresno, but we not serious. I'm more like a little trophy. He comes to my house, breaks down weed in front of his friends, shoots me a couple dollars, whatever. We might fuck around here and there, but it's really like some bullshit. It's some image shit, right? But he's blowing me up, right? And so he's blowing up my phone. I go to drop this nigga off. This nigga picks up my phone and answers it, right? So,
wait, this is the first date?
First date. After he done talked all crazy to me.
He's 6'6" and light skin. Though he got that. He got
picked
the
up my
energy.
motherfucking phone and answered it. I said, what? I burnt off and left the phone there. I didn't know what the fuck to do.
That's crazy.
I burnt all that. I hit the corner, came back like, nigga, get my phone. He was like, later on.
You his on one day. So he saw you initially and he knew
he said,
it's me.
And he said, I knew what I was doing. He said, I couldn't tell him nothing because we didn't do shit. He said, I was just trying to fuck up some shit for you. Like, in real life.
Just fuck, let me get this nigga out the way.
Niggas ain't shit. So the next day I call his cousin. I'm like, Didi, you know, hook me up with this crazy ass nigga. What the fuck? Like, are you serious? This nigga done did this, did this. She's like, what? He don't act like that. She's like, nah, nigga. I've never heard him act like that, seen him like that.
I mean, he likes you.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And so we talked on the phone for a couple of weeks. And then, you know, I got more comfortable with him.
You gave it up.
Yep, sure did. That nigga sent me a cab. He sent me a cab.
Sent you a cab.
That nigga sent me a cab.
This is pre-Uber. Nigga sent you a cab.
Nigga sent me a cab and I went and tooted it up. I quit playing.
Was baby made then?
No.
Okay.
No, so then.
Wait, no. Did y'all have a baby?
No.
I was trying to get to the goddamn wedding ring. I didn't give you a baby. Oh, another baby with another nigga.
Yeah,
okay. Was this whole story was to get to
the wedding ring? So yes,
husband.
Yeah,
okay, right.
So we fuck around and you know, in our relationship, over time I found out that, you know, he was on the run. He was on parole. He was from San Diego. He had been in and out of prison his whole life, and now he's in Fresno, and he's like, you know, his mom stays there. She's, you know, so he's staying with his mom, laying low. I didn't know he was on the run until like further into our relationship, and when I started hitting him with when you gonna go check in? When you going? Shouldn't you say you was on papers? Right. When you gonna go check in? Then he said, you know, baby, I gotta tell you, I'm on the run now, whatever. And then eventually, when he ended up going to prison, we got married in the Fresno County Jail before he went to prison when he violated. And so
say what? Y'all got married in the Fresno County Jail.
What with my long red dress on? I was looking fly as hell. Hey, he said he was sitting in there scared because I'm running late.
So how did it come up? He's like, babe, fuck it, let's just get married for because they finna send him. He finna get the penitentiary time.
We loved each other back then.
But I'm saying he knows like they finna get. How much time was he about to get?
You know what he said? This is what he said. He said I've never in all the years he had. I want to say it was 28 at the time, and in all those years, because I was 23, he was 28. He said I haven't stayed this long out of prison. Never. And he was like, being with you was the first thing where he felt like a home and all of that. That's what he had always wanted, and he wanted to get married, and he wanted to come back to that. You know,
what was he facing at that time though?
Nothing too serious. I want to say it was just like a violation, like, you know, maybe a year or something.
Okay, ain't that bad. Because this nigga G used you.
Yeah.
But no, okay, that ain't that
yeah,
bad.
it wasn't nothing serious.
Y'all was really in love.
Yeah, we was in
okay.
love. He loved me. I loved him.
Shout out love and shit.
And we still love each other. That's when we rock. What?
Okay.
Name, the death was purged.
So y'all get married at the motherfucking
county jail. Okay, so what? And I remember the vow said, I promise to love him as much as I do today for the rest of my life. And I love him even more. Promise you that much. But yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't like that though. You know, he went to prison. I told him, I held him down the first couple of times, and then it was like, if you keep going to prison, I can't do this no more. You know what I mean? Like, and there was a lot of things that transpired while he was in prison.
What type of shit is he doing? Not to be too technical.
So my nigga's gonna go get it for his family. That's just what it is.
So,
he gonna go get it.
So that's the conflict. So what I'm asking you is, you're telling him, hey nigga, you keep going to prison.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when he bring that money in the house, paying shit, buying shit though.
No, it wasn't like that
okay.
though. So he'd go hit licks. Like this nigga gonna go to Costco and go and walk out with 5 PlayStations, 4 Xboxes, and he gonna take them to phase 2 or wherever the barbershop is and motherfucking get off these motherfuckers and then they're gonna be looking for him. Now we're gonna have to sell the car to the junk place for however much they're gonna take it for.
Because they got the license plate, right?
And now, you know what I mean? It's some things just were not that fucking serious sometimes. You know what I mean?
So are you asking this nigga at that time, like, hey, you should try trade school. You should try to get a job.
I didn't know anything about nothing like that. And his mom.
You just telling him you gotta find something else.
And
nigga.
you know, but he was a good man though, because like I was doing my part for what I knew. So I'm going to the welfare to work bullshit and the whatever, you know. And he would take care of the baby, make sure she got to the bus. He was, you know, anything I complained about while I was gone, that nigga fixing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if I complained that the cabinets was dirty, when I come back, he gonna be playing on that game. But guess what? He gonna fix it, and he ain't gonna announce it or nothing. This nigga a real man.
It's done.
Yeah, it's just that we come from some fucked up shit sometimes, and he has a lot of toxic things in him that it takes a model.
Y'all both young, both from strange backgrounds, both learning this life shit as it goes.
He used to call me his sacromaniac. He would like, because you know he was from San Diego, 619, and I'm from 916.
It's back.
So
that's fine.
Yeah, so he would call me his sacromaniac. He was like, yeah, baby, my little sacromaniac, you know. And
that's a lie. We figured out because a lot of motherfuckers, as you get 40, as you get 36, whatever, they look at shit they see on social media. Like, oh, she should never fuck with me. But a lot of motherfuckers was just young. Figuring shit out.
Yeah.
If you never had a motherfucker to show you how to be a man, how to do this, we don't know. And then your circumstances, the shit you went through is crazy. You could have been a whole different motherfucker.
And his
you know
mom
what I'm
used to say that, yeah, like y'all just too young, and we'll fight. I will fight, and I'm leaving, and I'd be at his mama house quick, because where the fuck am I going? And that nigga going to his mama house, like, you done let this bitch in? I'm in his bed. The fuck? What you mean? Where you going?
So mom's fucked with you.
She did. She still do too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though she didn't like agree with a lot of things, she still like I was the good thing for him. I was.
So how much longer does that relationship last?
So he was in and out. My brother got murdered while he was in. My daughter got really hurt and injured while he was in. I ended up having to move to Palmdale with my dad for a while.
So at this point, it's just one kid still?
Yeah. And I had to move to Palmdale with my dad for a while. And so while I was out there, he actually came out there. So he came out there, violation immediately, right? Immediately.
With his situation.
5 days he's violated. Bam, goes back. He comes back out there again. Now we're hustling. I'm hustling. But now daddy's home, so, you know, daddy gonna take over. So, you know, so he's doing, but now he's in the traps. I'm getting, you know, smoker bitches. He's fucking with this smoker bitch. He getting, you know, whatever the fuck nigga is doing to do whatever. And we get into it, and he throws me down. Or like tosses me, and I fall over the couch and hit my head. Bam. This bitch busts open. Splits me from side to side, you know.
So at this point, this is second nigga that put his hands on you, right?
No, I was in a bad relationship in Fresno.
Prior to that, you had another one.
Yeah. And I was in a bad relationship that was
so it's kind of been a repetitive thing. You fucking with niggas who violently putting their hands on you.
But my husband never put hands on me, I would say.
To them.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But and I keep saying but because I don't want to make excuses at all for him. But it was more like I tripped back. I tripped.
You know what I mean? And I actually shout out to you, right? I actually appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
Because life be real time and shit do happen.
Yeah,
so
shit did happen.
Motherfuckers automatically look at it every time like, oh, it's the man. He
Yeah.
But sometimes women fuck niggas up too.
Yeah, so there was other shit transpiring. Like he had fucked, he had fucked with the smoker bitch and whatever. And now he done kind of pushed me a little or pushed by me, and I trip over the couch and I hit my head on the heater and bust my whole face from side to side. Now he takes me to the hospital. And when he took me to the hospital, the next day I come back, man, I'm stitched up like Chucky. You know, my whole face is stitched up like Chucky. And everybody's like, man, you need to call the police on him. You need to call the police on him. You need to call the police on him. You know? And I'm just
because
like,
it looked crazier than it was. Right,
it did. And I'm confused too. And I'm mad because he was fucking with the smoker bitch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And shit.
And in your mind is like, okay, well, did this nigga try to do me like this?
Yeah, and I'm confused. And they're like, you need to call the police on him. So I call the police. And mind you, he comes home that morning or something after, and we're in the house, and he's apologizing, and I call police, and the police get the call gets put through to the homicide department somehow, right? So I guess whoever received the call was the homicide department. It wasn't that it was like anything, but now it's word that they wanted for somebody, homicide wants him, right? So they surround my motherfucking house. They're telling me he's a dangerous. I'm not knowing. They're telling me he's dangerous. He's wanted for homicide. Let him
so
out.
he is actually wanted for some other shit?
No, he's not. But because the call got patched through homicide, everybody's thinking, the police that are getting it are saying, oh, homicide is looking for this person. Right. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and now I'm thinking I'm in the house with a murderer. You know what I mean? I'm not knowing what the fuck is going on. In my face and got busted in, and he's telling me, baby, please don't open the door. Baby, please don't open the door. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
so you motherfuckers is in a standoff.
And I say, yeah, real life.
In the house with the police outside. They're on the speaker and shit.
Yeah, and they're telling me he's wanted for murder.
Oh, shit.
And just I'm just like, and I eventually let the door open, and they came in and got him. And you know, and when they came in and got him, he wasn't mad at me. You know, he wasn't mad at me. He was already wanted, already had a violation. He didn't catch no other charge because I wasn't pressing charges on him.
So he don't get a homicide. It's just this domestic.
Yeah, he didn't even get a domestic because like I'm not pressing charges on him. He's wanted. He has a probation violation.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
so he goes away, and then I end up moving to Texas, and I sued my apartment complex and ended up with a whole bunch of money.
What?
Yeah. I sued my apartment complex, ended up with a whole bunch of money, and it was.
Say what? Hold on. How the fuck did you sue over this, or you sued them about something else? Mold in the roof?
Oh yeah, mold.
Okay, you sued about some other shit. I'm like, wait a minute, nigga. You had a nigga in the house who hit you, and then you sued.
Wait, I got a check for me. I got a check for my husband. I got a check for my daughter. And my daughter got that check when she turned 18.
Okay.
Half of it when she turned 18, and she got the other half when she turned 21.
So when he get out of jail, y'all kind of up.
Yeah. And I mean, he did some faulty shit a little bit with his little piece of the money, and he's like that. You didn't make money and shit. Like, for real. But I sued my apartment complex, and at this time, I'm in communication with my daughter's dad in Texas because after the show and shit, and so I'm in communication. He like, why don't you just come down here and bring my daughter close? Right. My family can help you with her, you know, and the cost of living is hella cheap. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I got a little money. What I cashed out, I got a nice little 2-bedroom with a fireplace and all the shit in Texas. In Texas, yeah.
Why this nigga in jail?
With no job, no nothing. Yeah.
Oh,
and I went
shit.
And I go out there and I'm trying to build us a little life, a little whatever.
So are you telling him like, nigga, I'm finna go to Texas?
Yeah, he knew. I was in Texas.
Was he resistant or?
No, he's not resistant of anything. My husband loves me.
So was his plan to get out and come there with y'all?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. For sure.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set up shop out here in Texas. I'm gonna open these businesses. We're in communication. You know, I'm living life. I'm fucking around probably here and there. Nothing really serious or whatever. Matter of fact, at the time, I'm fucking with only married men.
What?
That are ballers.
Nigga, what did you talk about?
So you don't, and you're doing that so you don't build attachments of the shit.
Because
okay.
I'm married.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm dating these 2 married men, off and on. And when I say dating, I had
sugar daddies.
No, yeah, like sugar daddies, but I only had physical contact with one twice in like a year period. You know what I mean? The other one I didn't. They were really like friendships, but they were like old man that want to be with a pretty girl, also want to talk about their relationship and complain about their wife.
Complain about
that. In real life, like I really provided a service for niggas that wanted to complain about their wife, and then I would call them like,
I'm the ghetto psychiatrist.
Yeah, and I would call them and message them like, hey, I'm moving. Can you send the movers or can you do this? And they were helpful like that and things that I needed. Hey, and this is when we didn't have Cash App and shit, so motherfuckers had my routing number and my bank account number, and they would just drop it. Yeah, and these are high figure niggas, so they're like on billboards and shit. You know, they want to make sure that ain't nothing getting fucked up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're gonna only fuck with somebody that they can trust. And that,
where you at in Texas? Texas is a big state.
In Dallas.
In Dallas. Shout out Dallas. My family's all from Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, so I meet a nigga and I basically give him the run. He like, man, who you look like you supposed to be one of these basketball wives, right? And he's just like, he an older dude, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm chilling with him. I'm like, well, basically, I got a husband in prison. I date a couple married dudes, and I'm not trying to do nothing. And he like, well, you know, give me a chance, and blah blah blah. I'm right here in your face. I'm finna do this for you. I'm finna do that for you, and blah 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 blah. Long story short, a couple months later, I'm pregnant. And broke my husband's heart.
Say what?
In real life.
Nigga.
And broke my husband's heart in real life. Yeah, so
are you like anti-abortion?
No, I just thought that I was gonna be with the nigga and that I was
So you actually, I love my husband that's in jail and shit or whatever the fuck.
But mind you, we've been.
You thinking this new thing has actually has some potential to grow to some new shit though?
I love my husband, but most of our relationship, he's been in prison. At that point.
I love you.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people confuse that. You can love, because how can you cheat on a mother? You don't love him.
Yeah.
No, I love you. I still can love you, motherfucker, but I can't be with you. I love you. So you're looking at this new situation like this might actually be what I need. It's healthier. It's more stable.
Yeah.
I'm in a better situation, so you're pregnant by the new guy now in Texas.
Say, now you taking 2 shots. What? You taking 2 shots, or is the story getting interesting, or what?
Yeah, he loving it. Shout out Q Ballers in the motherfucking house. Shout out Kiki. Kiki says, I love her. She's a real ass bitch for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Kiki. You know what I'm saying? Cash Corday, shout out to you in the house as well. Okay, so this looks like a little more realistic, more stable, more along the line. Yeah. Because you're growing as a woman in life.
And okay, so this man, he has credit cards. He's an older dude as well. He's doing whatever, and I'm thinking that this is just a better situation, and we're gonna. And mind you, at the time, he done put a ring on my finger already. You know, we went to the jewelry store, and so But I mean, come to find out, the man was really an abusive, manipulative. Like it was way worse.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So this shit turns abusive too.
That's the one that shot me. My baby daddy shot me.
Wait.
Say what?
He shot you like with a gun?
With a gun.
Let's get to that. So how the fuck do you go from, hey, husband,
so I tell
I'm
my
about
husband,
to be with him, and
I tell my husband,
where do we get to the shot?
I tell my husband I'm pregnant, which broke his heart. He always says, even to this day, he like, damn, I just wish you would have waited. Like, I wish I wouldn't have been in prison. I'd rather you'd have popped out and just had a baby. Like, he always tells me that, and I'm like, I feel like that's weird. Because, like, would you rather that, Diego? Would y'all?
As a man, I'm going to tell you, though. I go to jail, go do your thing. I feel him on the baby part.
Yeah. He didn't want to know about the baby.
You could be throwing that pussy a bar mitzvah. You know what I'm saying? But you gave a motherfucker baby, and then you and him didn't have a baby though, right?
Yeah, we didn't have.
So
one.
I know in his mind, like, you my wife, like he legally married to you at the time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand his hurt and his pain in that, because it's like, damn, I'm cool. I know I'm fucked up. I know I'm in jail. I know you got to live life and do your thing. Yeah. But maybe if I come home, I can get you back. But that baby solidified some other shit. Yeah. It's like, damn, we don't have one. So I kind of feel him on that. So you broke his heart. Y'all got the baby on the way. Yeah. Does the violence and shit start prior to the baby, or this shit all happens after the baby?
Prior to the baby. He was with my ass while I was pregnant.
Damn.
Yeah, he was. It was bad. It was pretty bad. He was very insecure. So he'll tell you to this day, he was like, I don't know what it was about you, but it just made me so insecure. But he also was cheating. And then when he came around me, it leveled him up.
So when he says
leveled him
insecure,
up.
so his anger and shit came sometimes just by how good you looking at Dan. He thinks you're flirting.
Yeah. No, and
you're just walking in your own shit.
And then he would drink and then he would black out. And like a real blackout. He's probably the only person I've ever seen that actually black out. Like when you look at their face, you know they not really comprehending shit. You know what I mean? And once I see that look, I know that shit's about to change. You know, and he's whooping my ass. And for real, like I'm protecting the baby, like really, really whooping my ass. And one night, and you know, it got to the point where we're arguing every day, but I'm not knowing why we arguing. We arguing because he fucking this friend, fucking that friend, fucking this friend. He done got this bitch pregnant. She done had a secret baby and is hiding it. Like and she's my friend. You know what I mean? Like, and she's still with her baby daddy, putting my baby daddy's baby on him. Damn. You know what I mean? Like, and so there's a lot going on that I don't know about. Like I said, I wasn't game tight, so I'm naive to a lot of things at the time.
Right.
And so, and I because I don't think that way, I wouldn't even guess that shit has happened. Sometimes people would tell me things and I still wouldn't listen. You know what I mean? Like, girl, you need to watch this girl because, and I'm like, what? She's my friend.
So
what do you
this
mean?
nigga ain't just cheating. He fucking your friends.
Friends having threesomes with I have multiple friends.
Wait, he having threesomes with your
my friends? Nigga, multiple of them. He's paying bills. He's a trick. See, here's the thing. He's a trick.
Yeah, he's a trick.
He's a trick, but I didn't know he was a trick because I'm not a hoe.
It kind of started out for you like that.
No.
You kind of he was kind of financially doing some shit and y'all.
No, I put him up on shit though.
Okay.
So here's the thing: the bitches was seeing the things that I was doing myself and thinking that he was doing shit for me.
And that's why they say keep motherfuckers out your business. Because the motherfucker, they wanted that. Yeah. And then he fell into it though. They like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then he's lame. So you know, you ain't never had no fly bitches that are looking at you like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so he's never turning nothing down because this is his dream. His dream is to motherfucking have some pretty bitches giving pussy. What?
And
two at one time?
And you making pretty bitch friends and shit.
Did you hear the word?
You supplying this nigga with bad bitches and don't even know it.
Did you hear the song Bitch Nigga? What? So you had a threesome?
Oh, we gonna talk about that because that's one of my favorite ones.
Nigga.
That's one of my favorites.
You think you the man. Like, quit playing.
Damn.
And so, yeah, it was like that. And then, and one night, well, I broke up with him. It was on and off at this time. My baby's about 10 months old. I have another little girl named Essence who I'm raising, who was a friend's kid that I just took it into guardianship of. And then I have my daughter. And I break up with him because I'm like, look, I'm just tired of arguing. What the fuck do we argue about every day? Like, you literally making a fight with me. No matter what I do, I can't be right. It don't matter if I cook dinner, you came in already full.
Shout out Chaotic One. Appreciate you tapping in.
Yeah.
So it ain't working. Now this ain't working. So how long, real quick, how long was the relationship, that window?
Well, my baby's about 10 months old at this point.
And you finna get, so 10 months plus how long, ever long before you got
probably
pregnant?
about 3 months. So about
a year.
Yeah, about a year.
Okay.
And so I'm like, you know, I'm over it at this point. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm working. I'm making good money. I work at Papa Do's.
I don't need you, nigga. Right.
But yeah, I work at Papa Do's. He just done so much crazy shit. It ain't just about not needing. This nigga done pulled up to my job with the gun out. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna shoot up,
gun.
Like
he
gonna
get to the
like,
shooting.
Yeah,
right.
like he gonna shoot my coworkers.
And this is Texas, so that's like a legal firearm, right?
For me, he was legal. He was registered. He was everything. So he done pulled up to I'm smoking with people in the car. He done pulled up talking about he gonna light them up. Like, nigga, you talking about killing innocent people.
So he technically low key watching your job to see where the fuck you going on your lunch break, who you hanging out with, who you talking to. But it's because he's doing
so much shit that no matter what, anything he thinks about me is I have to be doing some shit because he's doing so much shit.
Motherfucker.
And because to him, I'm this. I'm up here, you know what I mean? So ain't no way that I just want him and whatever, you know? But I'm not, I don't think like that. You
doing all the cheating, but you watching me to see if I'm doing some of it too.
That's
crazy.
And I'm working. And so I said, okay, you know, it's December. Like December, I want to say December 1st.
Q-Ball wants to know your zodiac sign.
I'm a Leo.
Okay, shout out to Leos. Leos are super lovers. I love Leos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love them. I'm loyal as hell, like in real life. So he's thinking that this is not too good to be true.
Too good to be true.
In real life, and I'm
fantasy.
And I'm working at a nice restaurant. I'm working at Pappadeaux's. Anybody know Pappadeaux's is high?
I love Pappadeaux's. Shout out Pappadeaux's. I love alligator.
Yeah. So
that's where I ate alligator for the first time.
What I'm making bread every day. You know, Pappadeaux's, they only hire good looking people.
The tips, the tips
is incredible. I'm making good money, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And so I break up with him. I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I go to work the next day. He's texting me like, "Can we talk it out? It's December 1st. Can we talk it out?"
Was y'all living together?
No. I have my own place the whole time.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
So I have my whole place the whole time. He'd fake like he might come think about, how niggas do. Fake like he might come think about maybe have a couple shirts here or whatever. But, he ain't really doing whatever because he's doing a million fucking things of his own.
Right. Like, it's in his best interest for y'all not to live together because he fucking your two homegirls.
Yeah, in real life, right? In real life. And so he's texting me like, please, let's just work it out. Now, mind you, I'm having a good day at Pappadeaux's. Right, so I'm like, I'm feeling myself because I'm, when you start getting them $100 tips and whatever, so I'm having a very good day at Pappadeaux's, and he's like, come on, I said, okay, we can go to dinner and we could talk about it, right? And so it really was just like I don't have no family in Texas. He was kind of like my only family. It's just me. I'm making money. I want to go and have a good night, and he's my person that I'm gonna go and do it with. So I went out with him. It's December. We're posting. I'm paying for everything, right? I'm paying for shit. We eating big at some shuck and jive.
That nigga fucked you and you buying the dinners and shit too.
What? We eating big.
What's wrong with your crazy ass? You got the friends on the side. You got her buying dinner, nigga. You fucked this up, bro.
Like, we're at shuck and jive, and and they're doing karaoke as well. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sing. So we we're having a good time, and I start seeing that little glassy look come over his face, right? Where I know
he's a drinker too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I start seeing that where he's getting close to that blackout, right? And so I said, babe, let's just go home, right? I'm gonna sing this one song. He said, okay. So I close out the tab. I go up there to sing a song. I look down. The bitch is bringing him another drink. The waiter, right? He done ordered another drink. But I seen the blackout coming. So I stop in the middle of my song, get down off the stage, go walk it. I say, look, I said, I already closed out the tab. We done. We finna leave, whatever. I give her the drink back. I said, why would you bring him another drink if I'm paying for everything? That don't even make no sense. Why would you bring? And so, and I told the waiter, I said, if we don't make it home tonight, that's on you. If we don't make it home safe tonight, it's on you. I said that. So we go to get in the car. When we get in the car, we get right when we get on the freeway. He's starting to talk shit.
He driving or you driving?
He's driving.
Okay.
And right when we go to get in the car, he starts talking shit and it's getting a little louder. Like, nigga.
What is he talking shit about?
He's saying
he think you flirting and shit because you singing.
No, he's saying, nigga, I'm tired of this shit. I'm the motherfucking man.
Right, because this is a date to kind of work on your relationship from the beginning. Okay, go ahead.
I'm the motherfucking man. I'm tired of this shit. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. He gets in the motherfucking car and I'm just like, hey, I'm just cool because I'm literally like, just make it home. He's drunk. I already know. Right. I told you when I see this blackout coming, he done whoop my ass.
Get rid of this nigga, right?
He done whoop my ass so many times. And I broke up with him the day before. So I really should have stood at that. So I'm standing here like, damn, let's just make it home because I could get back to my broken up point and just not have to fuck with this nigga, right? Because he's talking his shit already. And so he's like, yeah, I'm the motherfucking man. And as soon as we get on the freeway off ramp, he pulls his gun out of his side car door and pulls it in his hand and just starts beating me in the face with it.
Damn.
Beating me in the face when I'm in the passenger seat. I'm in the passenger seat. I have my hands up. I'm blocking. I'm like, wait. I open the car door because now we're on the freeway. I'm like, bitch, you got to jump out. You got to do something. But I can't because the car's going so fast.
So fast, right.
I can see the lights in the back. So I know if I jump out, I'm getting hit by a car behind me like I'm dead. And so then I just hear the gun cock. And when the gun cock, I just put my hands up and cover my face. And
this nigga wildin'.
And just boom, the gun went off and the bullet went straight through my hand. And went straight out the window. And so I had a hole in the middle of my hand. And I'm like, nigga, you shot me. He pulls over on the freeway. I get out. I start running.
Say what?
I start running down the hill. He chases me. He grabs me. He's like, I'm going to take you to the hospital. I'm going to take you to come on, just get in the car. He gets me in the car.
He tripping the gunshot and woke his ass up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So then he puts me in the car. He drives me it felt like he drove around forever, bruh. Swear to God. And he drives me to the hospital. As soon as he gets to the fucking emergency room, I get out. He shot me! He shot me! Nigga, what? This nigga burn off.
He burn off.
All right? He burn off. I get in there. they care flight me to the other hospital because they got to do like emergency surgery shit. I don't got no knuckle. And it's a hole in my hand, so I got to put bars in and shit. My face is all beat in and shit. And yeah, so there. And the crazy shit about that, the craziest part
Do
about
they ask who did this? Do they get him? Does he go down for this at some point?
Yeah. So they can't. So they, they filed charges and all this stuff. And the craziest shit is that like when I first got out the hospital, everybody was kind of like supportive. My job, Pappadeaux's, they took up like a collection because it's December. It's the beginning of December, and now my kids ain't gonna have Christmas presents and shit. And so they take up a collection to give me money so I can give my kids presents. And they like, I can't work. I'm a host. I'm a server. I can't carry the trays. I can't do anything. And
it was your right hand?
Yeah.
You right-handed?
Yes.
Damn.
And so I'm just like home and I'm depressed. I'm sad. And his family, he done told his family I shot myself. That I pulled out the gun and we're wrestling over it. And yeah, man.
This nigga.
So that I pulled out the gun. It told me that I pulled out the gun and I shot myself. And so now they're thinking I'm trying to set him up. And
so his whole family.
And he's from there.
And he's the motherfuckers this the only motherfuckers you really know.
Yeah.
So they all mad at you now.
They were talking about killing me. They were talking about when my kids go to school, I'm dead type of shit.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Besides let me set up their family member like that, And so my life was really in danger. I felt my life was really in danger at that time, And so I'm at home like pretty much trapped in my house.
How old are you right here when this shit going on?
About, I want to say, 30?
Okay.
30. Yeah, and so I'm trapped in my house, and he's reaching out through other friends and shit, and like saying whatever Christmas comes, his parents.
Is he threatening you, or is he trying to reconcile?
He's trying to reconcile.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's what I was gonna say was the craziest part about it. The craziest part about it is that I took him back, that I forgave him, and that I said,
Say what?
That was the craziest.
I'm the
shit.
king of second chances and shit, but what?
Yeah. You know what they say when they say Stockholm Syndrome? That's some real shit.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go back to your abuser if that's the only person you have and the only thing you know. Like, I had no support. Who's going to help me with my kids? Who's going to give me rides every day? I'm in a state that I'm not from.
Was it gradual? Like, it started with a few conversations? Yeah, I took your call.
Yeah.
So y'all talk a few times, a few times. I see you a few times.
Yeah. It was definitely like that. And then the fucked up thing
But let's ask you this, though. Do you actually believe it was just he drunk, blacked out, and did not really mean to harm? Like,
I know for
he
a
meant
fact,
to harm you, but
I know for a fact he was in a blackout. That's what I know for a fact. He also doesn't drink anymore because of it. And
congratulations to that,
yeah,
bro.
He doesn't drink anymore.
Shout out to you for that.
Because he knows that is him.
He stopped drinking and error. He saw the error in his ways.
Yeah, fact. He doesn't drink anymore. And
that's big of you to even take a motherfucker back.
Took him back, forgave him, dropped the charges. No. What? Let me tell you how fucked up this shit is. Before we got reconciled, I'm trying to extort the nigga a little bit, right? so I'm like, if you want me to drop these charges just so I don't feel like a dumb bitch,
right?
Pay me. You know what I mean? Give me some money. I have your kid. I knew he had a settlement coming too. So he's out in the hood splurging and shit and whatever and doing whatever. So I'm like, nigga, what? Pay me. This nigga records me extorting him and sends it to the lawyer.
Wow.
And sends it to the motherfucking lawyer.
Gotcha.
Nigga, what? They called me like, we got some recordings.
Shout out Tariq. Shout out Flawless of the West Coast Dream Team. Shout out Amber Floriano in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Amber knows him. She knows his name. She said, fucking Jimmy.
So fucking Jimmy. Jimmy's him?
Oh, yeah, Jimmy is him, my baby. She knows him. She knows him.
Okay.
Yeah, he beat my ass.
Damn.
And so one time I ran away from him, right? Went back to Fresno. And ran away from him. He flew out and got me. This is before he shot me. He flew out and got me. This is the first time I tried to get away from him. And on the way back, we stopped in Vegas. And that's where my friend Amber stays. And he beat me up in the circus and went to jail. So
God damn, and Circus is such a lovely children's casino.
Yeah, we have the kids with us and everything. And so I go with Amber. This Amber, shout out Amber Floriano. This bitch is the truth in real life. So me and Amber are out panhandling to get money to bail this nigga out. She puts up her car. so I can get this nigga out.
He whoop your ass.
And
He go to
my
jail
ass.
and you.
But also, mind you, I don't want to. Now he's in jail and his family is like thinking I set him up in Vegas. Nigga, what? They're telling me if I come back, they're good. I'm telling you, he has his family crazy, that motherfucker. So they thinking that he told them he's flying to California.
Is he his mama only son or some shit?
Yes.
They love him.
And
he the baby. So when
they bail him out every time.
I swear. And they
When he shot me, his mom bailed him out of jail.
Okay.
Nigga, quit playing.
Yeah, he the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
he the baby. So when he tell him, man, this girl's just her. She got me fucked up, mama.
So he told him.
They love him.
He told his mom he went to California to get his baby. So they didn't know he was coming to get me.
Right.
And so when they find out he's in jail, and I'm trying to play it off like, no, he's at the casino. No, he's da-da-da-da. When they find out he's in jail, now they think that I done set this nigga up. Right.
Again.
And so they're like threatening me. So we out here hustling, trying to get this nigga out of jail. Also, he has all the money to get me home. He came to get me. You know what I mean? Now I'm stuck in Vegas with the kids and shit. He has all the money. He has everything. So Amber puts her car up. We do whatever. We go to court. He does whatever. He flies back. He sees Amber. He goes to court and they drop the charges. That was the pre being shot.
That's pre being shot.
So later on in the future, he shoots me.
She must said, "Oh my God, I need some gin." This shit stressing you out,
Yeah.
This is a good ass movie. I don't know which scenes I would take to make it, but this is a good ass movie. Yeah, this is a 3-hour movie. This motherfucker ain't no regular 2-hour movie. This is a good ass goddamn movie. So you take him back, excuse me, after being shot. This is where we at now. This is what everybody want to know.
Yeah, and then
how does it go from there?
And I try to extort him, and he sends it to the DA. But in the end, he ended up paying me the money because regardless, they gonna pick up the charges and they still gonna use me. It doesn't matter what. None of that shit don't matter. So you did all of that, made me look bad, and made you look more like a hoe to me. You know what I mean? And then in the end, you still paid me that fucking money. So he paid me the money. I went in there. I sent my lawyer an email saying I wasn't going to testify, saying that, you know, if he did put me on the stand, I was going to testify on his behalf that it was an accident or whatever, you know. And so they still gave him probation. They still made him pay a restitution. He was paying me restitution.
And this happened in Texas?
Yeah.
That's good because Texas bang niggas. Yeah. Niggas get jail time in Texas like.
But he had paid lawyer. Okay. You know, he had paid lawyer. Mom, like you said, his mom.
You really kind of saved his life.
I did, and I always tell him that. So it's cold because, like I said, he ended up having 2 babies with my friend. You know, and so a dirty bitch too. The bitch already had 5 because she had like 7 kids back to back and
6
shit.
baby daddy.
Hey, wait, no, 6 kids, 5 baby daddies. Right? So his 6 kids, 5 baby daddies. So he ended up doing this, and really in real life, that's kind of where he belonged. He was never on my level in the first place. You know what I mean? But he ended up doing all that shit and moving on and. I moved on with my motherfucking life. And
so now this is a good ass movie. Where do we go from here? What's after this phase of shit? So at this time you say you're around 30ish. So are you dabbling and doing a little music recording? Not at all.
So I'm struggling. I'm struggling because now I'm drinking a little bit. I'm working at restaurants in Texas, and I'm a single mom. Now I got 2 kids, which is completely different. I low-key, it took me a long time before I could even look at that baby as an individual person.
Because of your feelings for the father.
Because I thought we was a family.
Is it a boy, a girl?
A girl.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm having this baby for us as a family. I'm not thinking that I'm having this baby to be alone with 2 kids and this nigga's gonna be fucking with my friend and all this. You know. So now I'm just like, oh my gosh, it was such a long time where I was just feeling like I wish I could go back to being just me and my baby. You know what I mean? There was a while before I could just look at her as, no, she was an individual, separate blessing, and she's not him.
So this is like, what do they call it when you have a baby? Postpartum.
Yeah, now I'm depressed. I'm starting.
You're going through some shit
and I'm gaining,
after having this baby,
and I'm gaining weight.
And it's just not postpartum like I had a baby. It's like postpartum. This nigga shot me. Right.
I'm gaining weight. I'm not losing it after having a baby. I'm motherfucking getting bigger. I'm drinking more. I'm smoking Newports. I'm working. I'm keep on. Now I done got. So I caught a charge. DWI with child in the car under age of 14, which is a felony in Texas. So I'm on probation for that, but I'm all right.
So what's that day like? Is it just a random day you just drinking and was on the way to somebody's house.
Oh no, that
cousins.
was.
How do you have the kid in the car and you're drinking?
Oh Lord, why we gotta go?
Well, you brought it up. I didn't ask you, brother.
Okay. So remember how I said I had these sugar daddies that I'm seeing, right? So I have one that doesn't cut me off, kind of. Now, whenever I'm not in a relationship, I can pick this sugar daddy up anytime I want, right? And so at this time, I'm off and we're talking or whatever. He ghosts me for like 3 days, and I get to drinking. I drive all the way to his house, like 2 hours away. And I'm calling him, why you're not answering me? Why you're not answering? I throw a brick through his motherfucking window.
What the fuck?
I throw a brick through his window. I hop in the car. And
Are you drinking at the time you
drinking? So I hop in the car with my baby. Mind you, I'm in some fucking outskirt town of Texas. You know what I mean? Where people come when they have a little money and they buy their houses, but you're in the outskirts town where you know, like you said, don't mess with Texas. So I go trying to get away. I get pulled over. I have I give them blood, which was a fuck up. You know, you give them blood, you know, you're screwed. So they put me on probation. Now, mind you, all this time.
So you throw the brick and then you skirt out of there. You driving like you're escaping some shit.
And I got my baby in the back
And I tell people a lot of the times, my young niggas, like, if you do a crime, nigga, drive away cool. There's nobody on the scene.
No, the police were already coming though, because while I was banging on the windows, the wife had already called the police.
You're supposed to drive away from the crime scene cool, because they're looking for the erratic driver.
Yeah.
So you bust the brick through his shit and you out of there. And as you coming this way, the police coming this way, they turn around on your ass.
Yep, sure did. And so they take me to jail. I did like 3 months in jail.
Damn.
And I got a felony DWI with a child in the car.
So you took your daughter over there to bust. Well, I ain't got a babysitter and your window getting broke today, nigga.
What? In real life.
I'm busting this window today, so come on. Damn.
And so I go, and he always says, he be like, dang, I always be like, dang, why didn't I just come outside? Why didn't I just come outside? But
so you did give a courtesy knock.
Yeah, I knocked on every window around the whole motherfucking house.
And then finally, you're not coming out. Here's a brick.
What? The dog looked at me, because I had the dog with me too. The dog looked at me like, bitch, why you do that?
The animal lovers in here gonna hate your ass right now. You took the dog to do this?
Yeah, the dog hopped in the backseat. My baby sleep in the backseat. The dog hopped in like, bitch, we in trouble. The police drove my baby and my dog an hour and a half back to Dallas to her grandmother's house.
Because I was just about to ask you, so where does the kids go?
Yeah, but in Texas, if you have a kid under the age of 14 in your car, it's an automatic felony.
Where's the oldest child at this time?
She is the oldest child. I didn't have the youngest one yet.
Oh, okay, at this time, okay.
So this is all pre-everything.
It's all right. They'll be able to put this shit all together.
So this is pre-everything. So I'm on probation for this. So mind you, fast forward all
They said you didn't knock on the door. You was kicking that motherfucker.
I was on every damn window.
Because I called it a courtesy knock. Yeah, Q, she was tripping at the door.
In real life,
nobody else was coming out either. He's like, why didn't I just come out? Nigga, because it was your ass if you came out.
He always says that. No, I'm not a physical, put my hands on a nigga person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I never think that I can beat a man ever in life.
But you had a point you wanted to have that conversation about.
Yeah. But I want.
But the conversation is you're not tricking on me no more? What? This is like one of your for sure sugar daddies.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, these is year relationships of friendship and love in real life. You know what I mean? So these are people that have my back and I have theirs. So it's not like I've never been what do you call that, with a bit transactional type of weird shit like that. You know what I mean?
They do some shit, but I still fuck with you. Like, did some shit on the 3rd, but I've been fucking with you the 16, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
These are my friends in real life.
Right, it ain't transactional, you know what I mean? But you do some shit. Right?
Yeah. I fuck who I want to when I want to.
Right.
That type of shit. Back then. So, mind you, we're fast forwarding and I'm on probation all these years. Mm-hmm. I've been on probation for all these years for that. Mm-hmm. And so when we fast forward, now I'm depressed, I'm sad, I done had a baby. This is fast forward, and I'm still on probation from these years. And I've been doing good on my probation up until this point. Now I'm going through shit with my baby daddy. Mm-hmm. and he done shot me.
Which baby? Oh, okay, that baby.
Yeah,
okay.
so he done shot me, and so all this shit, and I'm on probation, and now I'm drinking, and I originally got put on probation for drinking. So now I'm actually have a problem. That was just a drunk moment. You know what I mean? Now fast forward, and I actually have started to develop a drinking problem 5 years later. You know, and so which is crazy. It's almost like God did that preliminary. Because like I'm gonna slow her down because this problem is gonna arise. Right. You know what I mean? And so I already had the punishment before I even had the problem. You know what I mean? And so now I'm on probation, and one of the terms is if you drive, you have to have a breathalyzer in your car. Now I done went through all these years with not having to worry about nothing. Now I'm starting to have issues with my baby daddy, and I am drinking, and the probation takes because I've done good.
So do they put that shit in your car?
Yeah. So because I've done good on probation.
I've heard of it. I've never known anybody that had one.
Some crazy
so
shit.
your car won't start if you blow in that motherfucker.
And I have alcohol. Shit, if you have the wrong perfume on, that shit won't start. But
so what are you doing? You calling your kid out here blowing?
No, I'm staying sober.
You're doing right.
I'm staying sober whenever if I'm not driving. I'm riding with somebody else. But he fucked me up. I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit.
We were talking about
so
the probation.
Yeah. So
the punishment before the
yeah. So I didn't really have a problem up to that point. So I'm on probation, but I'm doing well, and I'm on a different caseload. Well, now I'm doing so well that they switched my probation officer to a different department. That handles a different kind of caseload. A
little lighter.
Yeah. Well, this new probation officer is like, oh, well, how have you been getting to work if you're not allowed to drive? And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, friends dropped me off and all this other shit and whatever. This bitch has a detective follow me.
Officer Dickhead.
Man has a detective follow me. Take pictures of me driving. Sent it to the judge.
Wow.
The judge calls me in random. Has me and says we have pictures of you driving when you're not supposed to be driving.
Got your ass.
Puts a breathalyzer. Now, I've been on probation 5 years and ain't had no issues or nothing. Now now them bitch shopping my big day. Now they put a breathalyzer in my car, and I'm starting to actually have a drinking issue. Matter of fact, drinking is the only way that I'm getting through life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm alone, I still have to be a parent, I still have to go to work and all this stuff, and I'm literally drinking to get through stuff. Now, I'm waking up drunk, but I gotta drink to bounce back so I can go to work. Or if I gotta go talk to the teacher, I'm really insecure, and so let me take a couple shots on shit. I'm putting drink in my coffee at this point, you know what I mean? And now that I'm starting to drink, they put a breathalyzer in my shit, right? So I'm like, oh. I start doing a little podcast in Texas, and everybody's starting to tell me that I have a problem. Everybody's starting to tell me this. They're like, you have a problem. So
you spazzing out on motherfuckers doing the podcast? How are your friends starting to tell you have a problem?
They're starting to tell me I have a problem. They're like, because there's the reason they're telling me I have a problem is because I have a breathalyzer in my car. So they're just like, yeah. So now they're starting to pay attention to other shit. You know what I mean? So now if we're at an event and I'm supposed to be riding with somebody, they're like, well, we leaving now. And I'm like, I'm still kicking it. You know what I mean? Type of shit. And they're like, well, look at it. She didn't want to leave because she wanted to stay and drink. You know, but I can't drive myself because, nigga, I got, it's just like.
So what are you doing in these situations? You just make a new friend and get a ride?
Yep. Like a motherfucker.
Right. Shit, I'm chilling.
Yeah, real life shit.
How are you going to get home, Sophia?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll figure it out. Yeah,
I'm going to figure this shit out.
Yeah, so that's towards the end, and my baby daddy is fucking with my friend, but going back and forth between me and her. When he fights with her, he'll come over here and be like, it's over. She done beat his ass. He's beat up, and this type of shit I don't do. So I'm fixing his wounds. She shouldn't do you like that. Next thing you know, this nigga's back with the bitch. You know what I mean?
That's
type
crazy.
of shit. And so I'm just depressed. I'm fat. I'm insecure. I'm feeling like the fuck. I don't have no family. And I said, fuck that. I'm going back to Fresno. Got me fucked up. I'm going home.
You go back.
I'm going home. And I don't give a fuck what nobody else say. I mean, I packed up my kids. I didn't have nothing. I left my house because the car had breathalyzer in it, so I couldn't take that bitch.
Right. You don't want to take that.
Yeah. So I couldn't take the car. I left my house.
But are you even off of whatever provisionary?
No.
So you leave, and they're like, you didn't take this car?
No, everybody's
Is there a violation for you not taking the car?
No, there's a violation for me not for leaving
to another state
at all.
Okay.
But and everybody's telling me come back because mind you, like I've been violated by not putting the breathalyzer in the car. That was my first violation. Then I blew dirty one time. That was another violation. Then it's like it's starting to add up. Now I done left. And so everybody's texting me like and I'm facing 10 years. Damn. And so they're like, if you don't come back, if you don't come back, you know what's gonna do. Think about it. They're on my Facebook. They telling me. People are blowing up my phone. I'm saying,
and you don't give a fuck.
Fuck y'all. Yeah, fuck y'all.
So how do you took a flight or did you drive across the country?
Okay, I got on a Greyhound and mind you, I didn't have no money. I went to the Greyhound station and was like, look, I'm trying to leave a bad situation. I have my kids right here. Is there any way you can help me out with a ticket? And they did. And they did that.
What?
Yep. And they did that. They said, okay, you're gonna have to.
So you wasn't even in a position to leave, but you had it in your mind, I gotta leave. And they gave y'all tickets and got y'all out of there.
I got the baby on my lap. I took my other baby with me. They said just keep the baby on the lap. They lost the bags that we did have, so when we got to Fresno, we had nothing.
Damn.
Whatsoever. I called my ex who was abusive before and called him and he was happy. Nigga was what? Come home, please, like type of shit.
He in Fresno at the time? Okay.
Yeah, so he was like, come home. This is the ex that was abusing me before I got married. And so he like, come home. So I go and I, mind you, while I'm in Texas and all the shit is happening with my baby daddy, my husband has a baby. And so, even though after the baby was born, we had thought about working it out. Now he has a baby.
Wait, is this light-skinned husband?
Yeah. So he has a baby. He gets out of prison. And
is this his firstborn ever?
And it's his firstborn.
He finally fucking got one. Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm not expecting him to ever leave his kid because this is his first kid. You know what I mean? And so
initially, did you?
Oh,
what was that feeling like?
It was hurt. And let me tell you how fucked up it is. The side
that
bitch,
was the get back.
No, the side bitch calls me to tell me about the other bitch that got pregnant.
This nigga that had a baby on us.
Nigga,
hold on, bitch.
Hold on.
Yeah,
real
the
life.
side bitch called like, this nigga that had a baby on us.
Like,
that's
I'm
crazy.
like, bitch, I'm in Texas. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So he done had his baby. He done moved on. I done went back to Fresno, and it's like, I went back to my ex's house. He think this is his second chance, but it's not his second chance, my nigga. This is just me needing a place to stay until I get on my feet, and we're not going to do that. And so I go back to Fresno. I go to dental school. I'm like, okay. And I'm crying to my sister, like, I've been doing things for everybody else their whole motherfucking life. I just did it. And I'm crying to her, like, and she's like, look, get it together and figure out how we going to start doing stuff for ourselves like that, right? So I hang up. I contact my dude. I put a beat on and I start writing, and that was when the music came back.
This is when the music came back. Okay.
When I got to Fresno, and I started writing, and I contacted my friend Gucci, and I was like, Gucci, I need a beat, and he was like, well, I got my homie Tez the producer.
Shout out Tez. Tez just came up in the last goddamn interview.
Oh yeah, shout out Tez.
I be mad at Tez. I think Tez should be way bigger, way more.
Yeah,
I think he holds himself back some.
Yeah,
but
I think
he's definitely
a lot of people
3
do that.
producers in the city, though.
A lot of people do that. It's so hard to just go in and believe in only your gift. It's so hard to just believe that God gave you this one thing that is going to provide for you, and you just have to do. It's so hard to have that much faith in something you can't see, and something that even in you isn't developed to the point that you know it should be, or that you've seen other people be developed to. But if you can believe that gift that God gave you will make the way for you.
Shout out Amber for the 100 stars.
If you could believe that, I promise you it's going to take you there. And Tez is one of those.
He's one of those, definitely.
But definitely my Gucci was like, yeah, Tez. So I hit Tez up. I messaged him on Instagram. He sent me a couple of beats. And I was like, okay. I'm like, this is the one I want. He overcharged me for the beat. Hey, he told me later on that he overcharged me for the
Damn.
beat because he was like, people always say they want to do some shit, and he was like, so I'm just
They
like,
bullshitting. So he threw an astronomical price out.
Yeah, and I did it.
And you did it, okay.
Yeah, and he was just like, if I would have known that you had it in you like that, I would have shot you that beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? In real life. But the nigga ain't never offered my money back though. I promise you that, motherfucker.
You ain't getting that money back.
In real life.
Getting that money back.
And so now look, I go to Dre DeMo's studio with DeVale. DeVale records me, and I'm happy with the recording, right? But there's a lot of auto-tune on it, and I don't have a traditional voice.
Right.
So when you hear it, you don't know what to do with it per se. You think it's just
And they're trying to find it, so he's throwing this shit on you that you don't even.
And it was very, very auto-tuned, but I loved it. It was my first song. I loved the experience.
You remember what the first song was called?
Elevation.
Elevation.
Yeah, it was Elevation, and it was about basically like, hey, look at y'all. I know y'all know I got shot by my baby daddy, but I'm out here and I'm all right now. You know what I mean?
Because you do have a big catalog. When I went to look through the music and listen through the songs and shit, you've done a lot of music and put a lot of music out. One of the things that I did notice was particularly, let me go to this. It was, where the fuck did it go? Benny Owens. Is that a producer?
Oh, Benny. Shout out Benny.
Shout out Benny.
Big Benny.
Is that another producer you worked with, or what's the situation with that?
No, that's Benny Vandross, the boss. That's the owner of Simply the Best record label, studio, clothing line. So it was a studio that I booked while I was in Vegas one time a few years back. And once I booked with them, I left. I came back, I booked again. I loved the experience in that studio. And a couple years later, he hit me up and said, I'm looking for a female artist for my label. And out of all the females that I've been through here, we rock with you. And
so he's like a producer, but not a producer.
He's not a producer. He owns the studio. He's an engineer. He's a boss.
An executive producer. Okay. No, because I saw his name on the records, and I'm like, why is his name on the records? So
it's Simply the Best, and then there's certain songs. We have a collaboration album.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah, it's called The Menace and the Beast. So, and we're working on The Menace and the Beast Part 2, but it's just very organic. So when we go in there, we have so many songs involved that we just drop it.
But he's an artist too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what I was saying. His name was on a lot of the...
because he's an artist.
Because I went through all the records, but some of those records were some of my favorite records.
Yeah, Benny has a crazy catalog.
Okay. Crazy. Shout out Benny Owens. Yeah, because I'm like, okay, some of my favorite records was the records with you and him. So I was like, who is he the producer or is he... Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Bitch Nigga is one of my ones.
Yeah.
You're singing on that. And so that's basically the experience of... That's dedicated to the baby daddy that shot you?
Yeah, and D Brown produced that one.
Shout out D Brown.
D Brown produced that
my
one.
nigga, you know what I'm saying?
And so when I first put out Elevation, CEO Hot Rod heard the song while I put it out. Now, mind you, I'm new, fresh, barely networking.
Digging into the music scene, right.
And so I...
Shout out CEO Hot Rod, though. I hope you're doing all right, bro. I ain't seen you online in a minute.
They maybe touch and go with Rod. But so he heard it, and he was revamping his podcast, and he was just like, hey, come on. I came on, I played my song, and then he didn't have a co-host. And so he was just like, hey, come back tomorrow or whenever and let's just do this. And so pretty much I ended up being like the heart of his podcast for like 3 to 4 years. And that allowed me to just network with everybody. I started meeting people. I was able to introduce other people to other people, and then now I know producers. Now I know photographers. Now I know this. And it actually, everything happened pretty organically. Like it was like God just opening doors for me left and right. Like, okay, now this person's hitting me up. Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do this voiceover? Hey, do you want to do that? And now this person's seen this work. And Fresno is like that.
Right.
So, everybody kind of was wanting to work with me, I was the hype of the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the podcast was definitely the hype of the moment, and people wanted to be on the podcast, and it was a vibe, and I a lot of my relationships and friendships
came through that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Envy is the Price of Success was another one of my favorite records.
Life is so much better when it's money in the bank.
Hey. That's one of my ones. And then I got a couple lyrics from Truth Hurts. What album was that on?
Oh Lord, we got experiment 626. Okay, so Truth Hurts isn't on an album. It was just some emotional shit I was going through.
It was fire though.
Yeah.
I actually wrote down some lyrics. It was just being honest, that nigga hurt me bad. But what the fuck a bad bitch like me look like walking around sad? You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, she gassing on this motherfucker though.
Yeah.
And then the other one, this is where I said, oh, she might be abusive. It said, should have slapped you like a bitch the first time you jumped in my face. But the way you hollered police, nigga, I can't afford that case. And you didn't said you didn't have some jail shit going on. Did the nigga threaten to call the police on you?
But that nigga was putting hands on me though. But then when people started looking, he started hollering, somebody call the police. So it was like a whole manipulation. This dude was a narcissist. So
right.
So I tried to date. So the last couple of relationships have been like fake relationships because I've gotten to the point where I'm not even really looking for anything anymore. You know what I mean? And so
do you just pass your time with niggas though?
No, not at all. I pass my time studying, taking care of my kids, and.
But I'm saying you said these are fake relationships.
Okay, so this is what. So
these niggas is really trying to fall in love. No, you just passing your time.
No.
Okay.
So I had a friend that was addicted to drugs, and at the same time he was a white guy, but he had a decent image. I was trying to protect his image, and so we kind of made it like it was like this relationship thing going on, but really. Behind closed doors, I was taking him to the methadone clinic.
Okay, faking that way.
Yeah,
okay.
So it was fake because he had an image and I had an image, but we were trying to make it look good. So somebody that knew us knew about this and was like, hey, you should try doing that little fake relationship thing with this guy over here because y'all both have an image. You know what I mean? And so now this guy over here, me and him had been friends for a long time. So it actually developed into something. But he was not good in a relationship. You know what I mean? And so,
was he trying to make it a real motherfucking relationship?
Yeah, he was, but he was also still not good in that. You know what I mean? And it was a real relationship, but I call it Experiment 626 because at the end of the day...
626, what is that? Like Pasadena or something?
No, that's him. Experiment 626. I don't know.
Where do you get the number 626 from?
Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
No.
And that's where Truth Hurts came from?
Yeah. So once we broke up, he tried to fuck up my image. So I just came back with the truth. You know what I mean? Like, hey, but at the same time, once I did that, a lot of females who he had done the same thing to reached out to me and they were just like, hey, like I felt like I gave some females a voice with that song. Right. You know what I mean? Because they don't do music, but I do. You know what I mean? So the way that he manipulated me, he had done the same thing to them.
And you're very good at like the lyrics are direct. Like a lot of your songs aren't just like, some of us just make songs and they be all over the place. Just a bunch of popping bottles. Your shit is like, it sounds like you're speaking on direct situations.
Yeah. And
60 to 80% of the time. You know what I'm saying?
There might be a little bit of extra razzle dazzle.
Is it an outlet for is it like a diary?
Definitely.
Is it an outlet for you?
It's about telling my story. My music is definitely about telling my story. You know what I mean? I don't make music to sound like, I've heard people that are like, oh, what do the people want? Oh, you know what I mean?
Don't do that. This is yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do that at all.
You can definitely hear it in the music because I started going through the music and shit. I'm like, okay, a lot of it is direct, a lot of it is personal, a lot of it.
And if you've ever been in the studio with me, anybody that's been there, they see it's real time. I write it, boom, because it's so real that it doesn't have to be forced or anything. You know what I mean? It's easy to say when you're telling the truth, your own story. You don't have to make it up. And so it's coming out like it's coming from my brain, But then it twists, and I know it's a gift from God. You know what I mean? Because of the way that it's being said.
How many projects have you released in total?
So I have only one full, complete solo album.
Because I saw that on there, but there's so many other songs on the
I have one complete solo album.
What's the name of the album for the people that want to go find it?
What They Never Told You.
What They Never Told You, Sophia Ruby.
Sophia Ruby, What They Never Told You. And so then I have the Pride album, which is this is another artist on the label, and he's a Leo like I am. And whenever I get to the studio, it's usually late night. He's usually in there vibing, and we just ended up knocking out like 4 or 5 songs. Yeah, so we ended up with enough music to make a collab album, and we're actually working on a Pride too. But since we're both Leos, the Pride name came out perfectly. You know what I mean? And then he's African and Haitian and Jamaican, so the music has more of that reggae type of feel. That whole album is just a bop.
That's what's up.
And then when I work with Benny's from Richmond, old school player. My
Richmond,
dad,
California.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out Rich.
Yeah, so Ben. So I got my old school player vibe, and then I come from my dad, who was a pimp. I come from the game, and so it's like I'm able to tap into that part of my life when I'm making music with him, and then when it's like my solo music is. So I'm working on my second album right now, though. My second album, Hustle Over Everything.
Hustle Over Everything.
It stands for, Hustle Over Everything. H-O-E. That's the name of my that's the name of my second album, and it's actually a tribute to Benny the boss, but Benny brought me in like, hey, it's every artist's dream to be like, you got a call from the label. I didn't call them, they called me from another state, and to be like, hey, we gonna provide this for you, we gonna provide that for you, and
What's the name of the label?
Simply the Best.
Shout out Simply the Best.
Simply the Best music group all day.
Shout out.
Yeah, so Benny, right now I'm working on my second album. He has a song, an album called Polite Pimpin'. So my album is Humble Hoeing. And I've remade a couple of his songs. I've remade his cover art. So he has himself in a pimp suit, and then I have me in a pimp suit, same colors and everything, and redoing the whole thing. And then my second album is like a tribute to him, and then also like more of just me raw. And then after that, I'm moving because, I'm in the music department at school, and I've been singing a lot more. My goal is to go to Broadway. And so
let's talk about that. You leave Fresno at some point and move to Los Angeles?
Yeah, that was just a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, because my daughter graduated high school. And so when she graduated high school, I was going through a little bit of, again, a depression. When you have depression, it comes in bouts, and so it doesn't really matter what is happening in your life at the time. I mean, my daughter was graduating high school, so I was losing something major, know, and she's getting ready to go to the military. And such a big part of my life was staying out of prison so I can take care of her, staying out of this so I can take care of her.
So the depression could be, it's some 11-year-old shit that resurfaces because of this moment in time. Right?
And now it's just like, oh, I'm alone. She's going through high school. I'm hustling to pay for prom. I'm hustling. People are, and so there was just a lot going on. And at the same time, my owner sold my house. So I'm renting a house, and he sold it. And
happened to me twice out here.
Yeah, and I had no idea. They came over on 4th of July and told me that they had bought the house, and I had 30 days to get out.
At least in California, you get that 30 days.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers out here give you 3.
Yeah, and then so I negotiated cash for keys and stuff like that, and made it work. But I ended up selling.
And you said, I'm gonna take this and go to LA versus finding another place there?
No, what I was gonna do, the goal, I'm telling you, I was depressed. My goal was literally, I have my passport, I was gonna take my daughter, I was gonna leave the country, and I was gonna live off the grid. What did
you have in mind as far as, because I love living off the grid, I love other country shit.
So I had looked up Sri Lanka, which is a very affordable place to live.
What's the dollar shit like?
Costa Rica.
8-1, 13-1 or something?
I don't know, but I'm looking up houses, right? And they're like, I mean, you're paying like $500 for like a mansion. You know what I mean? In Sri Lanka.
I watch so much of that shit.
Look like spy movie houses. These are the shit you see John Wick in, you know what I mean? Type of shit. And it's in Sri Lanka, and so I'm just like, so that was one of them, and Costa Rica was another one. And then so my goal was, I'm going to LA, my auntie has this hotel, I'm gonna sell my house, I already have this money from cash for keys, I already have this money from selling a lot of my stuff from the house, and I'm gonna sell my car, and then I'm gonna leave, and I'm just going to disappear. Like, I literally had taken my picture off of Instagram, told everybody I don't do music anymore, was like, I'm so done.
You was almost ready to just go off the grid for real.
But that wasn't God's plan. I wasn't God's plan. As it often isn't when we making plans of our own in real life.
So you end up in LA, and what's the school thing? What did you decide to pursue? Because that's one of the things that stood out. I've seen your story, I see you all the time, but then I see that you're on this school journey shit.
So I'm doing music, which I started in originally I started in Texas. The baby was just born. I told my baby daddy I want to go to school. I tried to go to school. He wouldn't watch the baby. It was just a whole thing. He was just like, she just wants to be around rappers and wants to be around niggas. I told you he said he was very insecure about me. So anything I said sounded to him like niggas for some reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I think I want to be a niggas.
That's all his
niggas.
say. And so that I had like one class from there, right? Then I go to Fresno and I'm doing my music and I start going to school there, and pandemic hits. So everything goes online. Now I've never been a good student at school, so everything going online really threw me, you know? And so I kind of stopped. And then when I got to LA and I realized that I wasn't going to be leaving the country, my auntie done kind of wrangled me into running her hotel for her over here, right? And dipped out. Like, she was like, acclimated me, and then she dipped out. You know what I mean? So it's just me. And now I'm starting to look at it like, this is a decent situation. You know what I mean? Maybe I can get myself together while I'm here and do whatever. And so I just looked at the nearest school that was around. So I'm going to school for music. But while I'm in school for music, I take an anthropology class, and I'm like, this is kind of interesting.
Anthropology, for people who don't know that word.
Anthropology is the study of human culture, the study of human development.
Okay.
It entails a lot of things. So archaeology is a subfield of anthropology. You know, so I learned a lot about language, body language. People are like, I could tell a skeleton if it's a man or a female. You know what I mean? Things like that. But this is about the world and cultures, herbs, witchcraft, religions, everything. Everything that has to do with humans in general. That's what it is.
Anthropology.
Yeah. The development of humans from where we come from apes, all the way to now. And
so you pick that up in the pursuit of the music thing.
Because music takes such a long time to get that degree. So I'm doing that, and then I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. But mind you, I'm literally just beefing up my schedule. So that way I could be considered a full-time student, because music, I'm taking 10 hours of music classes, and they're only worth 1.5 credits. You know what I mean? And are worth like something crazy like that. Some of them are worth a half a credit. Right. You know, and so it takes so long to get the music degree that I ended up getting these 3 other degrees where I was really interested in. You know what I mean? And I'll have the music degree in the fall, and then I'm able to apply for UNLV, which I'm planning on applying to UNLV for musical theater. And like I said, my ultimate goal is to be on Broadway.
So I saw you with the cap and gown. What was that graduation for? The anthropology?
Yeah, anthropology.
That's what's up.
So I got a degree in anthropology and a liberal arts humanities degree and social sciences and social behaviors.
That's what's up. That's fire.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been looking at people like, man, like, you know, how you could just read people, and sometimes they don't even know why they're doing something, but you do. But what I can say is that it's made me so more understanding of people. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. Even if I don't agree, I understand. You know what I mean? Like, and that's different for me, because of that, I don't get as irritated. I don't take things as personal, or I'm able to maneuver a different way because I understand. Like, certain things are certain cultures, certain things are certain, and when I say culture, it could be any kind of culture. It could be the hood culture, it could be black culture, it could be hip hop culture, it could be weed culture, it could be, you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily healthy, but
and you definitely have the life story with the people.
Yes. So I can relate.
You can relate. Even like you still fucking with your dad right now. A lot of motherfuckers get old and be bitter. They don't even fuck with.
What? And we stay into it.
But they never even look at it. But I'm saying a lot of people won't look at like, well, he was young and he was fucking up at that time too. Okay, because like I've recently just forgiven my dad. It took a long time for me to be able to talk on the phone with this nigga. But I had to get to a point where I had to, I know you was going through, but you got to go through some shit and be like, you know, maybe this nigga was going through that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't get to that point. You know what I'm saying? You're able to see, even like with the motherfucker that shot you, you was still kind of able to see like he was at a blackout. He quit drinking after that. Yeah. Like, another motherfucker might have not quit drinking. And you're like, motherfucker, you was trying to kill me that day. Yeah. Like, you're able to decipher, like, I saw him going from this point to this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're able to see Shout out to Second Chances. Shout out to
I feel like sometimes
Human Error. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like sometimes that makes you like. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a lonely place because of that. Because I am able to see things differently that other people can't see. You know, and that leaves me in a lonely place. Like for example, like right now with my husband, we've recently gotten back.
So when you say husband, that's 6 foot light skinned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like we've recently. You know, I'm working on my show right now. It's The Hustler's Wives.
Shout out, you're doing some reality shit.
Shout out to Dark Gemini Productions and my girls Hazel and Chris who are on the show with me, and we it's about our different relationships with our husbands, but it's really about our friendships and about our hustles as we.
Y'all in the middle of filming that now?
Yeah. And so we oh Lord, and so with my husband right now. I'm able to see the things that he does that are toxic and that are not healthy, but I'm also able to love him regardless of those things.
Are y'all back together, or is this like we
are together?
Okay.
Well, God. So he messaged me yesterday and was like, "Baby, I want to make our marriage work." So that is a blessing.
But y'all don't coincide in the same house.
But we don't live together.
Okay.
He lives in a different city. I live in a different city. Like I said, he had a kid, and so therefore he has developed another relationship with that kid's mom. You know what I mean? And so they have a very on again, off again toxic relationship with a woman that he's never been in love with.
But the show's Hustler's Wife, will he appear at some point on the show too? Okay.
Yeah. So
we're down with that?
Yeah, we're getting ready to do the shoot for the opening, and stuff, and he's gonna be a part of all of that.
That's fine.
He's probably not gonna be on the show. The show's not about them.
It's about That's why I was just asking.
Yeah,
does he appear at some point?
Yeah, but at the intro, and it shows clips of them, and it shows our relationship. And in the intro video and picture is all of us in our relationships and stuff. So. Yeah, he's on there. He's just not like, it's not about them.
Right.
But we're working on it because he has a lot of toxic things that over there, and I'm not dropping everything to run to him, and he's not dropping everything to run to me. We're just trying to do things a different way. My thing is, I've never stood solid on my vows, like I should have. And I feel like in all the things that I've done in my life, that's one place where I've come up short. I don't feel like I come up short very often. You know what I mean? And when I am fucked up, I try to get right.
So when you said come up short, you mean in the marriage?
Just in anything. So like when I don't miss. What?
But I'm saying you said you don't come up, but you said it's the one thing you feel like you can.
Where I come up short. That's what I'm saying.
Is that marriage?
Is that marriage?
Okay.
I don't miss. If I cook, it's gonna be delicious. What? If I make a song, it's gonna be a bop. If I do whatever, like I don't feel like I miss. Like you know what I mean? But if I do fuck up, like when I was an alcoholic, I tried to fix it. When I felt like my parenting wasn't great, I tried to fix that. You know what I mean? And so I tried to actually work on the things when it comes to me. Now,
so that's the one thing. Is like, let me kind of see if I can.
So even at this,
fucking up my record, husband.
Yeah.
Let me get this shit together.
Let me get this shit right.
I'm 30. I'm 31 and 1.
Yeah. So
let me get this 32 and 0. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like okay. Let me see. It also, God has never not given me what I've asked for, right? So you know what? Let me stand on these vows and see if I don't get that marriage that I always dreamed of having. And so that's what I'm doing. No matter what, like we're separate, but I'm faithful. I pray for him. I send him encouraging messages.
And that's crazy. You said it's been how long? 17 years?
Yes.
And y'all, neither one of y'all ever said, "Hey, go do this divorce paperwork." Has there ever been a point where he was like, "Hey, I need you to do some divorce"?
He said it recently. He said it recently, and it's fucked up because it hurt me to the core, right? And I was like, and I cried at first, and I went off. I went on a little rant, like this nigga want a divorce and blah blah blah. Went on a little rant, right? After 17 years, how you gonna say that? But it was because the thing was, I've gotten to a point where I have these degrees, I have this music, I have this accolades, and he feels like he's not good enough. So he's like, well, you might as well just go ahead and do that divorce. You know what I mean? And so, because I'm not
because that's a big ass window of being married, but not being together.
Yeah. And so he's like,
but you still honor that, like that's my husband.
What? And he does too. That's my wife. and so he said it recently, but it was more like you go ahead and do that because I can't be what you need me to be right now. And I told that nigga, you got me fucked up. Nigga, you got me
Till death
fucked
do
up.
us, literally.
Nigga, what? I said, if you want a divorce, I guess you'll be filing the papers, my nigga, because I don't believe in that shit.
Hey, that's a fire ass crazy dynamic story though.
Yeah.
Because y'all don't have no kid together.
No. But
that's your husband.
And that's
17 years.
And that's my son.
Of
the
his
son
life.
that I've never met is my son.
That's
Got me
fine.
fucked up. That's my son in real life. My son that I've never met is my son, like in real life, for real, because that's his son. Like that's him. And,
that's a dope dynamic.
You know, and also I feel like
if it all in the end comes back, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah, for real. And I love him and he loves me. Like that's what it is, and it's gonna work. I also feel like if I stand on those vows and I do what I told God I was gonna do, why would he not bless me with that in the end? And like I said, my husband messaged me yesterday and said, baby, I wanna make this marriage work. So I believe that it's working. You know what I mean?
Really
that because it's hard to believe that after all these years and she done did this and she done did that and she's blah, 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 that she's sitting out there faithful. You know what I mean? I get where you come from.
Right.
You're in a toxic relationship. If I leave my kid and I leave this bitch and I go back out here with my wife, you know what I mean?
I'm gambling. Right?
Yeah, you're gambling with, and I understand it. So I'm just going to stand solid and just keep it, you know what I mean? But he also knows that he can't come to me with what he can go to her with, which is maybe a gambling problem, maybe a drinking problem, maybe a this, you know what I mean? So he wants to be, in his mind, know that he's bringing it to me ready to commit and do that right. You know what I mean? And so I'm waiting on it. And
all right, that's what it
be.
do.
Yeah.
So you got HOE coming, Hustle Over Everything.
Yep.
Hustlers Wives, the reality show coming. Anything else you got planned up for the future?
Oh, well,
that we should be looking out for?
5th annual Stoners Ball.
Stoners Ball.
5th annual Stoners Ball, which will be here in Las Vegas, y'all. And so I actually took, I've done Stoners Ball, which was like me bringing all my dope artist friends together on one platform. I used to get an outside headliner. I used to pay a lot of money to get an outside headliner, but then I started saying, you know what, I'm just going to have my people be headliners. So I started paying my, Fresno folks to be my headliners and shit. And then when I moved to LA, I moved the show to LA. And then when I moved to Vegas next year, I'm going to be moving
So you've done 2 in Fresno, 2 in LA? Okay.
Yep. And then this year I took it off because I graduated and I was just like, it's too much.
It's good to take a break and reset sometimes.
Yeah, it's too much. Just one person doing so many things. You know what I mean? Down to the red carpet. I put it together myself. The backdrops, everything is myself. It's all my money. It's my tax money. It's my school money. It's my hustle money. It's everything to provide this one show once a year. And I love doing it, but it was too much for me to do this year. You know, and I
had to regroup.
Yeah, and I opened my business. I was like, you know what? Since I'm graduating, I'm going to take all those resources. Instead of doing that, I'm going to open me a business because I will be moving soon. I'm going to need moving money.
What's the business?
Pink Panda, I launched a brand. I launched the brand product line. It's all natural herbs, everything all natural. Besides, the anthropology really got me interested in the different healing herbs that people have from different countries all over the world that work. Like
that's what's up.
In real life, this shit works. So what we do over here is they find out about it, they take it, they bottle it, they water it down, and then they sell it to the public, right? And so I'm finding out about it, bringing it over here pure and giving it to my people for the low. That's what I'm trying to do and bring us back to.
And what's the name of it again? Say the name.
The Pink Panda.
Okay, the Pink Panda.
Yeah, I'm the Pink Panda. So I have circulation bombs. I have teas. I blend teas for whatever anybody asks. I've had people ask for kidney teas, lactation teas, diabetes teas, whatever. I blend it for whatever, but it's all natural. And I'm building up my arsenal with all these very powerful, potent herbs that I'm gathering.
Where can people find you? Facebook, Instagram?
Instagram is the Pink Panda or the Wilmington Apothecary. That's my business page. At Instagram is also at Dab Lounge Upscale Events. That's my Stoners Ball page.
Okay.
Dab Lounge Upscale Events. My Instagram is personal is Queen Ruby the Menace.
Okay.
All my music you can find on all streaming platforms everywhere. And then that's pretty much it. Facebook, Sophia Ruby.
Okay.
Everything Sophia Ruby.
Sophia
Queen
Ruby.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you pulling up on me, man. This shit was deep. This shit was a good. Your life is a movie, and I know there's shit in between all that we didn't even get. You know what I'm saying?
All. Like we can do this all.
Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely
day,
do
bro.
it again. You know what I'm saying? This shit was fire. I appreciate you pulling up on me while you were out here in Vegas doing your thing. Shout out your label that's out here. You signed to a label in Vegas,
Simply
right?
The Best music group all day.
Yeah.
Simply the Best. Benny Owens. Shout out Benny Owens. Hey, I want to give a shout out to my little niece Jasmine. Happy birthday on Mac Dre's birthday.
Mac Dre.
Girl.
Rest in peace, Mac Dre. You know what I'm talking about?
Shout out to my kids. They've been working hard on their lemonade stand this summer, y'all. So they're down here. They just recorded a song called Lemonade.
Okay.
They'll be dropping it soon on all platforms. They have their own lemonade Cash App. So if you guys want to donate, but they're working on their trip.
Tell them what the Cash App is. You know it?
The Cash App is $ Lemonade Crew. Lemonade is with 2 E's, Crew is with 2 W's.
Okay.
And so Cash App, Lemonade Crew, 2 E's, 2 W's, and they've been working, like no joke, working. So they work at their lemonade stand. They work on their social medias. They work on, like right now, they're at the studio recording a song. And I'm very, very proud of these girls. And if you guys can support the Lemonade Crew, I'd really, really appreciate it.
That's what it do.
For sure.
Man, appreciate you pulling up on us. Sophia Ruby on all streaming platforms. Y'all go check her out, man. The Pink Panda, what was it called?
Pink Panda. I'm a Pink Panda in the Wilmington on Instagram. The Pink Panda or the Wilmington Apothecary.
Pull up, support all her shit, man. I definitely appreciate you pulling up. Amazing motherfucking story. You are definitely a survivor and a motherfucking winner, man. Shout out your family. Shout out Pops for still being around.
Love you,
know what I'm
Dad.
saying?
Shout out to my auntie, the original legendary Soul Train dancer who got me up in her properties, learning a lot. I've learned a lot about business since I've been there working at the hotel. I've also been able to look out for a lot of my people as they come through. If y'all are in LA or need, anything, just hit me up for real, because I'll be out there.
Shout out Second Chances and Forgiveness. And it's big of you to be able to do that, because you gave some people some second chances and forgave some, you know what I'm saying? Shout out forgiveness, because I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. So shout out to you for that.
It's funny you say that, because people always used to tell me, you're way too forgiving.
I'm one of the motherfuckers that they say that about.
Yeah,
but
you're way too forgiving.
As people who aren't dealt the best hand initially, I've made a lot of fucked up mistakes.
Yeah.
So I'm appreciative of all the times a motherfucker gave me a second chance. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I try to offer that, and everybody don't do that. Some motherfuckers, even though they were given a second chance, they look at he's a motherfucker. No, he was that at that time. So everybody don't remain who they were at 16. Everybody don't remain who they were at 20 sometimes. And your heart is huge, and you've extended it to so many people, and you've done so many great things. I just wish you the best, much success. Keep growing, keep being better. Sophia Ruby, I appreciate you pulling up on me.
Shout out Diego Red,
That's
aka the Fresno Shannon Sharp. Quit playing with him.
You feel me? Yeah. And we out of here, man. Peace.
This is Fresh.
The Secret Menu Podcast.